Hello, everybody. Happy Krampusnacht. I'm right outside of the shop. The shop is 10 feet that way. Don't worry, the fire is intentional this time. And hello, people of the future who have not hopped on yet. I'm going to make sure that I have live chat here because I got to say my hellos real quick. Hello, Ron Sheps. Wait, Ron Sheps. Yes. Oh my goodness. Oh, I missed it. Oh, they're all popping on so fast, and the screen is tiny. Hello, John C. I can't see your names. Screen is tiny. The shop is like 10 feet that way. This is just some leaves. I thought I would kind of keep a leaf pile going tonight for some ambiance.
Here, I got you.
What? What do you got me?
I'm gonna read for you.
Oh.
I'm gonna read you who was saying hi.
Thanks.
Okay. Are you ready?
Are you going to say hi, or am I saying hi? Can you tell we're organized?
Just stand there by the flame.
My
look
glove is
from-
toasty.
Like, okay, Ron Sheps, Paul Bennett, Chonka City, Brian Lippert, John C. Ellis Fire, Jeff Leach, Michelle Schulte, Susan Attai, Stanley S. Oops. I lost it. Hang on.
Oops. No, oops.
Larry Hughes, Edson Juice, Ashley Russell, Jordan Bunce, Jeremiah Dempsey, Mike Chesanowski, Michael Lassiter, Nate Slinkard, Christopher Lizotte, Kat Swift, Keith Hess, Josh Newman, Riot Demon, Teal Deely,
Three more.
Chad Smith, Monty P. Freak, and Mike Manning.
Hello, everybody.
Head Static, Rodney Pope, Stricken Ghoul,
You're sneaking in
Warmonger,
extra people.
Lisa Messiah.
Hi.
Hi, Lisa.
Hi.
Sarah R. John Sommer, Happening Mojo,
We can't
Black
just
Craft
yell names
27.
the whole time,
These are my
honey.
friends.
You
South
can't just
Omaha.
yell names. We've got stuff to do. All right, it is Krampusnacht, but that doesn't mean there's not work to do in the shop. So I'm going to leave this idyllic woodland scene. All right, so wife,
Yo.
every 15 minutes, you have to tell me, and then I will give a Krampus fact. Because it's Krampusnacht, and I'm going to be giving Krampus facts throughout the evening.
Okay.
So that is a part of the evening, and wife has to tell me. And I have a lovely little background reel of Krampus pictures happening back here. None of this is my art. All of this is on my Pinterest page. So all artist credit is on the Pinterest page or wherever Pinterest stole the image from, because Pinterest. So hopefully you guys can go there and get all the artist credit as you see cool Krampus pictures. Like, I love that one. Isn't that beautiful?
Set alarm for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
15 minutes. Starting now.
So
Thank you, Edson. Edson just told me that.
the first thing that we're going to do, okay, the first thing we're going to do, because it's kind of necessary, see if I put you guys right here, you can see the fire still. Yeah, so I thought that was very holiday. Oh, and my wife made some delicious mulled wine. Ooh, mulled wine. And I asked her to put the recipe on the Creepers page. So on Facebook, on the Still Peace Live Creepers page, she put the recipe for her mulled wine. And this time, she used werewolf wine.
I used, werewolf. So you're drinking while you're...
That's very hot, but it's delicious. Yeah. Okay. So the first thing that I want to do tonight, in order to be as festive as possible, is I wanted to make a Krampus hat. And I thought I would start with a Santa hat, like, you know, the one I'm wearing. And I'm just going to get some pre-bought horns and a hot glue gun. Hot glue gun. And let's go ahead and we'll put horns on this hat so that it is a little more Krampus-y and not just Santa-y. You know what? It's kind of depressing. This is the first time I've worn a Santa hat in a while. It's depressing how much I actually look like Santa Claus.
I don't think you look like Santa. No, I don't think you look like
Okay.
Cobweb says, let's drown some bad children.
Yeah.
Geeks, greetings and hallucinations from Florida.
Hooray!
Ed says, very festive with the hat, fire, and wine.
That's what I was hoping for, was festivity.
Alan, doing it for wine, yes. You got a little kitten there.
I have a kitten?
Got a kitten.
Oh, and we have a black cat, just for Krampusnacht, right here. I have a pair of bullhorns from Elope. And like every single thing here, you can go to Walmart right now and get yourself a hat. You can go to eBay and buy these horns from Elope, and they'll be here in like 3 days. So don't tell me you can't do this.
We can have mall Santas and we can have a mall Krampus.
Yeah. You know what? I am on board with the Mulled Krampus trade.
Everyone knows who that is.
That is Jenkins. Jenkins is short for Leroy Jenkins because when Shannon found Jenkins, she ran diagonally, little tiny kitten, ran diagonally across a busy intersection. And Shannon had not heard of Leroy Jenkins. And when Shannon told me the story of how the kitten ran across the intersection, I said, oh, like Leroy Jenkins. She goes, who's that? And then I showed Shannon the video. And if you don't know what it is, just Google Leroy Jenkins and you'll find the video. It's a wow thing, but it's very funny. But yeah, anyway, that's Jenkins. And I would normally go to the mirror, but I have the camera. If that's
Ross Ryder
one.
says it's Alan Claus, coming to us live from Swift Workshop.
There, that's like fairly even.
Stricken Ghoul says, I am named Nichols and I'm husky, so I get the sad. I get the sad when compared to Santa, but the joy of the kid trumps the negatives.
Yeah.
Mike says, can't wait till the wine takes effect. This could be fun.
So what I'm telling you guys is I will have to play Santa at some point in my life. I have caused so much trauma to children in my haunted house career. I kind of owe it to them to play Santa a little later on in life. Now, if you were a person who was not me, you would probably measure the base of the horns that you were using very carefully. Now, see how this pit of the hat has a fold over? I'm using that fold over to have the horns come out of. I'm going to glue the horns to back here, and then this is another layer to hold them on. But, so, yeah.
TJ Gazelle says, for the horde, Leroy Jenkins.
Leroy Jenkins!
Pantano is also calling out Leroy Jenkins.
And then they say, damn it, Leroy!
Damn it, Leroy. The Cobweb says 33% chance of
33% chance of survival if everything goes well. Damn it, Leroy. Yeah.
Keith House says, how awful would I look if one of the Krampus masks was wearing glasses? For me, I can't wear contacts, I need my glasses.
No. Okay, so you need to go to, hold on, maskra.com, and they have a foam insert that goes over the glasses and pushes the mask out, and it works wonderfully. You still have some fog issues, but if you ventilate your mask well enough, you can avoid a lot of that. And also, if you're having fog issues with your glasses inside of a mask, put a foam strip in between your mouth and your eyes. Because what's happening is your breath is coming out hot and going up the mask and fogging your glasses. If you stop that from happening, then you won't get near as much fog. Your body heat can still do it, but yeah. Okay, so now I need to fold this.
Is Alan a happy drunk or a mean drunk? I said Alan is a lovey-dovey drunk.
Well, yeah, like I'm not a drinker. Like I'm not a drinker. So the only time my wife has seen me that messed up has been on, well, in the ER when I was on like hardcore medication for table sawing my hand and stuff. But I was very polite and courteous.
You were very sweet.
I'm a very, yes.
I had no idea about Leroy Jenkins. I was at Gen Con, and a buddy bet me that I would yell the name of the convention if he lost $20. That's great.
Anything to pay 20, like $20 is $20.
How
I
do you
would
get
firm believer in that.
how do you get EVA horns to stick to plastic? Contact cement worked for 3 days.
Okay, so you're going to need a mechanical connection. I don't know what kind of plastic it is, but drill through it and drill through your EVA horns just a little bit, and run little tiny zip ties. That you put the little zip tie on the side you're not using, and if it's got to be on the outside, then you put that little zip tie nub on the outside, and then make a little well around it. You know what I mean? To kind of hide that. Putting a nice X dollop here of hot glue, and I am using black hot glue because I have black hot glue. I also did not check.
Shane's got your other one.
Oh, Cheney. I see you casually leaving the room. Thank you, buddy. My dog was going to eat Krampus. On Krampusnacht, no less.
What is the temperature there? It's 37 here in Michigan.
Alexa, what's the temperature outside right now?
Right now, it's 55 degrees Fahrenheit.
She
Tonight,
says 50.
expect a low of 40 degrees.
I don't think that's accurate. For this Texas boy, it feels way colder.
Where is the ventilation for the beast mode mask? The mouth looks solid.
What are they looking at? It is cut behind the teeth. If you look at the teeth, if you lean the mask up behind the teeth, there's a cut for that. And there's 2 cuts on the sides also. I'm trying with the concept of COVID happening kind of all over, you know. I'm trying to cut my mouth vent holes in such a way where they're not straightforward. So you're kind of side venting, speaking and yelling aerosols a little bit. Does that help a lot? No, but it helps some.
Chad Smith, I would have a request. Can the first Krampus fact be what Krampusnacht is?
Yes, it can. Now, I don't like the color of these horns, so we're going to spray paint them.
No patience, Ron.
Sorry.
Josh Nichols says it's been 15 minutes.
It has not been. Has it been 15 minutes?
Let's see how it's
She brought me a really big mug of wine. I'm just saying. She knew what she was doing.
Oh.
Okay, so I don't like the color of these horns, so I'm going to hit them with a little bit of glossy wood tone, which you can buy at Michael's or Hobby Lobby. And I don't care if I get some on the hat, because I kind of want to distress that a little bit too.
Alexa, how much time is left on my timer?
You have 4 minutes and 50 seconds.
We have 4
left
minutes,
on your
guys.
15-minute timer.
That means this is a 10-minute Krampus hat.
Mr. Jessica recipe says hello. Lisa Aaron.
Hello.
Hamza Reach. Where did you get the hat?
This particular hat I got at the thrift store. I just took the fuzzy ball off of it. I'm going to replace that with a jingle bell.
Alan, you said those small horns were on eBay. What do you call the smaller ones before the wine smart alligator? What type of animal do they represent?
Those are bull horns, actually. Those are bull horns. Okay, so I'm going to put this little bell that I got at Hobby Lobby on the end of the hat. I have not forsaken you. I'm right here. Okay, I'm going to put that little bell on the end of the hat. I have some wire and a needle. Shannon, you asked for a big needle.
Yeah.
Take this one as soon as I'm done with it.
Oh, that's good.
What I like about needles that are bigger than my head, I can thread them without my glasses.
You're going to need to make an orc mask.
I have a couple orc masks. So, yeah.
Cat will love the bell. John C. says the towns of Crispelhow and Stahlhofen, I guess they're right, Austria, both feature Krampus museums that collect old costumes and masks.
That is true. And there was another one that had it, but I think they actually closed up shop this year, sadly. And if you keep giving Krampus facts, I might run out of Krampus facts. I'm just saying, easy on the Krampus facts, kids.
Your stuff is really awesome. Thanks for sharing. That's from Daniel Forney.
Hey, thanks.
Jen Smith says, holy crap, she called her Shannon.
What?
They're amazed that she called me by my name.
I did. Well, a lot of people like kind of hear her name every now and then, and some people think her name is Sharon, so I'm going to try and say Shannon some, just so folks realize it's Shannon. But I normally just say wife. Hey, wife.
Oh, Warmonger said that's the wine talking.
It's a wine, yeah.
Is Alan growing a mullet?
No, it's all the same length. I mean, no, I'm not going to grow a mullet. That's not how mullets work. You have to have long hair and then you cut yourself a mullet, which may happen in the future for me. I'm just saying, I'm not adverse to mullets.
Keith Hess, for the past 4 years, I've been dressing in a Santa costume when I'm driving my semi transporting coal. But this year, I'm going to dress up as the Santa Grinch, watching your video, made up my mind.
Yeah! Okay, so now I have, and these are bull horns, by the way. These are elope bull horns. Someone asked me that question, and then I got a bell, I got a needle, I called my wife by her name. Yeah, things went awry. Yeah.
Grim Stitch uses old heavy-duty carpet needles, but I have no idea what kind of
well, those are leather needles, and an upholstery store is going to have the good carpet needles and stuff. They're going to have good ones. That's the great thing about having like 300 trees. I don't have to go far to get leaves to burn. Like they're all like right here.
How did you make the horns?
I did it! I bought them from eBay, a company called Elope. Put in Elope bullhorns. If you want to make whacking yourself in the head with something exciting, make it a bell, because then it whacks you right in the ear. Maybe do this on a longer tassel.
Alexa, stop. Krampus fact.
It's time for a Krampus fact. That's why I was getting the fire going again.
Well, what's Krampusnacht?
Okay, so Krampusnacht, December 5th. All right, December 5th is Krampusnacht, and that is when the Krampus come down from the mountains. This is Austria, Germany, Italy, France. Every country that touches the Alps mountains has a Krampus and some version of Krampusnacht. And Krampusnacht is the night when the Krampuses come. And the Krampus is, of course, a Christmas holiday demon. Oh, I should probably do this. Yeah. Krampus is a Christmas holiday demon that takes away bad children. And what Krampusnacht is these towns have festivals. And they have big festivals and parades. And the parade is literally village men who dress up like Krampus, mask, hides, they're hairy, they're hideous, it's wonderful. And they will form groups of Krampus, bands, and then they'll come and they'll have this giant parade. And everybody in the village comes and they come out to watch the parade. And if kids are bad, they'll push the kid into the street right in front of the Krampuses. And the Krampus have these bundles of sticks called ruten, which are birch twigs. And it's a whole bundle of sticks. And then the Krampuses will beat, normally in the legs and thighs, they'll beat the children with them. And if the kid is really bad, the kid might try and run out and get back into the crowd. The parents will push them back into the middle so they get a little more beating. It's a real thing, it's pretty awesome. So Krampusnacht is the night of all those parades and celebrations. That is Krampusnacht.
Is there more than one Krampus according to folklore?
Yes. Krampus is this whole band of wild monsters. There's one St. Nicholas. There is one Father Christmas. There's one La Befana. But there are hundreds of Krampus. Krampus is a horn. They're a horde. They're an avalanche that comes down from the mountain. So, they're a thing. Yes. So that's Krampusnacht. And that is your Krampus fact.
Epic. Alexa, set alarm for 15 minutes.
15 minutes. Starting now.
Cat Swift says, I started this morning at 7 a.m. watching the Krampus movie in my workroom. Crates start to
I love that movie.
Where is Krampus celebrated?
So Krampus is celebrated in all countries that touch the mountains of the Alps. Alps mountains. That's where Krampus comes from. All right. So I have a request to make a Krampus mask for someone, and they just wanted it to be special, is what they said. I think that's what they said. And I have decided. At first, I thought, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to carve a Krampus mask out of wood during this event. Because that's how you traditionally make a Krampus mask. But what do I want to carve with? An angle grinder with a chainsaw blade on it. While viewership possibilities are high if there's an accident, also what I have to worry about is you wouldn't be able to hear a thing that I said. It would be terrible, terrible noise the whole time I was carving. So instead, I'm going to make one out of EVA foam. I think that will be and go better. And to prove that you guys can do it too, I made sure I went and I bought EVA foam from, I think this is from Joann's, or it might be from Hobby Lobby. But I think it's from Joann's.
How many times did a Krampus come visit Alan when he was a kid?
So many times. So many times. We were homies. Yeah.
There's a lot of requests that we should be doing Krampus here.
We should be doing.
Beating kids with sticks.
I don't have any kids. Like.
No, I don't mean here in the shop, I mean in America.
Oh, we do need to have Krampus here in America. We absolutely do. But America's new. Like, America's new. So it's not like we think that the America that's now is America, but it's not. We're still evolving, We're a very young country. Socially, we're very young. So, we kind of have to develop, what are we going to keep? And I think right now we're kind of test driving Krampus to see if we like it. I like it. Speaking of I like it, we're having some mulled wine.
Christopher Lazone says we have a Krampusnacht in Salem, but we don't do the things that they do in Europe. We are not torch lit. What we have is a pub crawl dressed as Krampus.
Yeah, there's a lot of pub crawls, and I will eventually do one here that is not a pub crawl. That is a honest event. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna grab a headboard because I need one for sizing.
What are we making? Happy Krampusnacht, everyone.
I'm making a Krampus mask.
He's coming. He's coming. Brian Demon says I watched a Krampus parade last year in Austria. They were also beating the adults.
Well, yeah, they'll beat anybody. Like, they don't. Krampus does not discriminate. Equal opportunity. Krampuses.
Is there a way to stop Loctite foam from clogging the straw port?
Yes, use it all. Use all of the Loctite. Do not allow the Loctite to hang out. And while that seems like a crappy answer, that's the truth. So line up a couple Loctite projects, so that you are able to use it all.
I'm building my first Krampus based on your designs. We have a German line of ancestors, and we are honoring their tradition.
That is awesome. I love that.
Jeff Leach says, oddly enough, my pastor's wife has asked me to play a Krampus. Very cool.
You know what? It is really cool. It's kind of a yin and yang, you know?
Never once did I think about using EVA foam to make a face mask.
Hang on. You're about to go for a wild ride with me. I'm going to go ahead and mark off a couple just of these 1.5-inch strips, and I'm going to base I'm going to do a framework this way. What I'm using to cut this foam is a Roberts razor cutter. So you can get those at Home Depot.
Botox Rock says, I watched some of the parade videos today. Realms would like to
wonderful?
know, do you have any tips on how to make the teddy bear mask?
Well, I followed the video I did on making a scarecrow mask. It's that, but use a teddy bear.
Meet the Creeper says, I've got my seatbelt on, bring it! Chad Smith says, well, due to the holiday, I'm watching Krampus when I get off work.
Hooray!
Happy to Mojo, what's the age cutoff for Krampus beatings? Could you throw your teen or spouse into the parade for a beating?
I think you could throw your spouse in there. I'd probably make it a male spouse just for, wife beating's sake.
Paul Bennett says, at first I thought it was just a horror movie of Krampus eating children. And then I learned about Krampus from the movie at Stilby Studios, and I did research and I understood better. John
Yeah.
C. Switch buddies are made of birch. Switch bundles are made of birch. I have made custom bundles for people in multiple birch species of Austria, silver downy, and European forms.
That's awesome. You're going to get a free Krampus fact. So, I guess I'll tell you this one. A lot of times the Krampuses, if a kid was really bad, then the Krampuses in the parade will give a switch to the parent in order to hang on the wall in the house. And often those are painted gold, and it's either a mini one or a full-size one, and they'll hang it on the wall in the house as a year-round decoration to remind the kid that Krampusnacht is coming. You best be good. It's kind of like, hey, here's a switch.
How often do you have to change the blades on the EVA?
Okay, so if you look at how this is set up, that comes off. So there's 4 corners on each one. There's 4 corners on this blade that I can use. And I'll probably use 1 blade for this whole mask. Yeah, 1 blade for this whole mask. So not a ton. And I am going to do something a little silly.
Almantra Art, love that we're celebrating. This also is it wrong that I want to flock the molding table behind you green?
You can want to flock whatever you want, sir.
Ross Rickard, I wonder, does the Krampus get a Krampus on the way down from the mountain? Funny thing.
Does the...
Big ground.
Oh, got it.
Will you do a Krampusnacht live event on your other channel?
I have another channel?
Yes, that's okay.
I haven't started my live event channel yet. Okay, so here, I'm having a trouble starting a new channel. There's something funky with our internet where our ISP isn't buddies with YouTube. So, and I tried to start my new channel from work where I was on a different internet system. It still didn't like it. So I actually have a trouble ticket in with YouTube to start the new channel. So it's not you, it's me. I'm having troubles. So I don't know exactly what size I want this mask to be. So I just glued this across here, and then I'll be able to take this off and tighten it up or make it bigger if I need to down the road.
Is there a link for that razor tool? Let me guess, Harbor Freight.
No, Home Depot. Home Depot. And this thickness, I can probably just manipulate it by hand. Normally you might want to heat gun it to get a shape that you want, but a little bit of hand manipulation doesn't suck. Again, you might see some art up on the big screen here. And what that is Krampus images from my Pinterest page. And of course, if you go to the Pinterest page, then you're able to see all of the artist's credit. So this is going to be a nice little strappy system here for this Krampus mask. And I'm building off of this. And this is a hot glue that is formulated for foams. And it actually holds really well on this. But there'll also be a whole other coating that happens on this. I want this to look more like wood. Because I really want this to be unique.
EVA foam thinner than the floor mats from Harbor Freight?
It's pretty close to the same size. The floor mats from Harbor Freight are supposed to be 3/8, and this is pretty close to 3/8 thick. Alexa, how much time is left on my timer?
You have 4 minutes and 10 seconds left on your 15-minute
4 minutes.
timer.
Are those Harbor Freight EVA mats?
No, I got these from either Michaels or Hobby Lobby. Sell cosplay EVA foam. That is exactly what this is.
You have 141 people watching and you are 32.
Hello, 141 people. So some of the choices that I'm making here are for engineering, okay? So like right now, I am about to glue this piece on. And I'm going to glue it on here, but I'm going to overlap so that this piece has 2 glue connections holding it on, not just one. I'm going to do that to both of them. But if you can, overlap, inset, those kinds of things to make your product stronger, and I think you ought to do that.
Hey, Jason Nichols.
Hello, Jason Nichols. Jason Nichols is a very talented actor, performer, and a darn good just actor trainer, cast helper. Excellent. He was a home haunter long before he did haunted house stuff, and I conned him into working the haunt. Here is where that little bit of flex from EVA foam is a good thing, because it has to flex a bit to come up over the chin. Yeah, all right.
Lisa Messiah says, "Word Krampus stories was the night before Krampusnacht, and all through the house not a creature was stirring. They even talked with the mouse."
Yeah.
Eric Walker says, "Happy Krampusnacht."
Happy Krampusnacht.
Hello, Big E. Talks Roxanne. A really cool Krampus ornament this year. And we'll send pictures of it on the preview.
Awesome.
Jason Nichols says, "It was a trend."
It's a trap.
Hey, Blackcraft 27, hope you're doing well.
This will be the next thing that I do for this mask. Will be here. But we're almost ready for a Krampus fact.
Stacey Hawkins.
I do. I'm ready.
It's time to light a fire. Hey,
I got to
Lanny.
go light the fire, yes.
Hi, Lanny.
Hi, Lanny.
Monster Camp 7.
Lanny, I'll be painting your werewolf this week. My wife is just happy that I'm breaking these. Okay. Now we can do the fire again. Come, why are you guys so far away? So far away. Boom, 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 boom.
Don't go into the woods.
If you go into the woods today.
Okay, what's up with the fire?
I thought it was festive.
Alexa, stop.
I'll be right back. Hey, now that's a fire. Okay. So, the next Krampus fact. At one point in time, Krampus was Hitler's #1 enemy. Hitler actually outlawed, his fascist group outlawed the Krampus because they thought it was too pagan and they didn't want it in their country. So, Hitler actually outlawed Krampus, and that is one of the things that helped turn his people against him. That they, they're like, we sort of like the Krampus, but he went away for a long time because of Hitler. So Krampus is not a Hitler fan, which makes me like him even more, because All right, so yeah, that is your Krampus fact. And I put a little bit of 99% alcohol in the fire to make sure it would catch faster.
Oh, hell.
Yeah.
I like your necklace.
Oh, my friend Alan makes these. I forget Alan's last name right now. Alan. I don't remember. Forget his last name. But he's awesome, and maybe I'll look him up later. Yeah, I'd have to go get some sticks though. And it's pretty close to the house, so I don't mind it dying out. Really, it's not a big deal.
Happy Krampusnacht from the Jersey Devil Home Hunters.
Hooray, Jersey Devil Home Hunters!
Jason Nichols as the Fire Marshal Prize. Oh, no. Alan, it's time for wine.
For what?
Wine.
I just had some wine.
Alexa, set alarm for 15 minutes.
15 minutes. Starting now.
Third degree of terror. I'm so tempted to throw on one of my Krampus costumes and run around my neighborhood.
Yeah, you should do it.
God, that'd be a big
Right
Krampus.
after we're done.
That's a big Krampus right there. That would be a big Krampus. Cat Swift, living in Southern California. Every time you light a fire, I have a panic moment. I know you're being safe. It's a regional thing. Cat, I've got family in Southern California.
Yes.
So I hear you. I've been worrying about them too. And it's been so smoky where they are. So.
And we watch to make sure we're not under a burn ban. Yeah.
Rob O'Brien says, throw the reindeer on the fire.
Hey now,
What
does the reindeer do?
Watching Krampus for the first time tonight.
Hooray!
Oh, guys, Alan, you drink wine?
This is mulled wine, so it's very sweet. It tastes like fall. It doesn't have like an alcohol bite. This is mulled wine that my wife makes. See that crap floating in there? Yeah.
Sorry, Donica 12. Or ALAXAS now set.
Okay.
Eric Walker thinks 11-year-old brother should be beaten like
I would agree.
John C., what if Stan dressed as Krampus and kept the fire going?
Well,
If Stan were here, we could dress him up.
yes, if he were here, we could do that.
Is there alcohol in your drink?
It is mulled wine, so there is a bit of alcohol in it.
Captain Mojo, Krampus is where people drew the line with Hitler shenanigans. Sounds about right. I wonder if this was in some way instigated by Hitler's pact with the church.
Probably. I don't know a lot about it, and I don't want to dedicate a lot of time to Hitler, but I just thought it was very cool that Krampus and Hitler were enemies.
Liz Messiah says every time you say ALEXA, my ALEXA starts talking.
Okay, so I am just drawing a Krampus face here. I'm drawing a Krampus face, and I'm putting fangs in right now. I'm not worried about cutting out all the fangs, but I do want to get that basic.
Cat Swift says this week is the 3rd anniversary of our Thomas fire right down the back of the store at Main Street, so it just gives pause. Cat Swift, how close are you to El Cajon? We have family in El Cajon. Hyena Hoss, hello.
Been a while, Hyena Hoss.
Where you been? John Hayes says tweak it for eggnog. Chad Smith says just toss some malt powder into my glass of wine, right? Ew.
Mulled, M-U-L-L-E-D, not malt, M-A-L-T, wine. But you do you, man. I'm not going to tell you it's wrong.
That sounds terrible, Chad. Terrible. Poor wine.
And I'm going to tell you guys, what I'm doing now, I have never done before. So we're going to see if it works together.
Hyena Huss says, I asked for costuming stuff for Christmas, and I just finished my first short film.
Awesome.
These prompts have a tongue. I love that look.
You will have a tongue. That is part of what I'm doing. So I just drew that. It's not going to look like that, but this is like a skeleton start.
I thought you were saying mulled wine.
M-U-L-L-E-D, mulled wine. My wife said she was going to post the recipe. I'm going to have to talk to my internet person about that. Wife? Yeah, website stuff, she's like, I'll get to it. But if she thinks someone's going to drink bad wine, she's going to fix that right
I
away.
don't want you drinking bad wine. All right. I just gave you guys a little bit of info there. Seeing your Krampus Christmas hat makes me really want one.
Well, I showed you guys how to make one. I did this on the air, like I did this moments ago.
Do you think that jumping stilts could be integrated into a costume, for example, a sailor?
Yes, I have done many costumes with jumping stilts. I love me some jumping stilts.
Donica 12, I'm making wine experimented for another week. Yeehaw. Love it. Donica 12, we were talking about the craziness of this year, and it seems like your wedding was years ago, but it was this same year. It was in January. That's just amazing to me. We were talking about you.
Yes.
Bobcat Mama, you're incredibly talented, and I enjoyed your videos.
Hey, thanks.
Thank you, and Merry Christmas. Stay healthy from Canada.
Thank you. Okay, so I cut this at a little bit of a bevel, and I'm going to go ahead and cut the mouth out too, just some.
Do you have any of the stilts on your channel?
I don't have jumping stilts because I don't use them a lot in haunts anymore, but I was an early adopter of jumping stilts. I had back when they were called Power Box, and they were came from Germany, and they were yellow. They were a little bit different animal than they are today. I got them in Orlando. Like the first container over to the States, I had a pair.
Good night, Paul.
Yeah, they thought it was going to be a sports craze called power bocking, and I'm like, oh no, these are for monsters.
Have you been fishing lately?
No. This season is busy for me in that there's a lot of monsters to be made, so I don't really get to fish that much during this season.
Did you do an animal stilts tutorial?
Yes, I could.
Does Krampus typically have hooves for feet?
Okay, so many people depict him as having hooves for feet. And in the old Krampus cards that they would send, which are, customary, he was often depicted as having one human foot and one goat foot.
Can you say hi to my sister, Eliza? Bring her out.
Hello, Eliza. Hello, Eliza.
This reminds me of Pan's Labyrinth.
Yeah, it is kind of Pan's Labyrinthy. That's fair. All right, so this guy is going to glue together, but he's going to glue together like this. And that is going to be how we sort of start making the face. Hello, who?
Grumpy Creations. John Hayes, can you make a half human, half animal build costume tutorial?
I can, sure.
Do you do any outdoorsman stuff like hunting, camping, and shooting?
Not too much. Normally I'm a little too busy. I like that kind of stuff. Now, I've never been hunting, but I think it, parts of it look fun. I do a lot of fishing.
I like your hat. It says Be Good Hat.
We just made it. We just made this hat. We made this hat live on the Krampusnacht special.
45 minutes ago.
Yeah. And I don't think that I'm going to try to use the oven. I think we're going to heat gun this the natural way.
Is that barge cement?
This is Weldwood contact cement. I prefer it to barge. I don't like barge as much as most people do. So, neener.
Lisa says, more Krampus facts. I love learning that it's countries touching the Alps. What do you think?
I am making a Krampus mask, and I'm making one out of eBay foam. I think that this will be a very unique Krampus, and that is something that I was going for.
Is anyone watching The Mandalorian?
Yes, people are watching it.
We've made one episode yesterday.
I don't want to talk about it because of spoilers.
Grumpy Creation says, dang it, now I gotta go make a hat.
Yeah, get on it, Grumpy.
Is that
Please. And if your mulled wine has cooled down, just warm it up with your heat gun.
Is there significance to the cowbells worn by participants in Krampusnacht? I don't see bells too often in old Krampus images, but they seem a staple in Krampus costumes nowadays.
Yes, the significance is just that they make a lot of noise. And while you're thinking like bells, okay, but it's pretty intimidating to have a bunch of Krampuses making, that much noise. And there's also the factor of, it's kind of a unifying thing because different types of Krampus will have different types of bells. And it helps sort of make your troop all sound alike. This is something that we are messing with. We're going to see how this works out.
You sell clay on your site, or am I mistaken?
I do not sell clay. I don't sell clay. I don't sell plaster. I don't sell latex. Biddy Mold Supply sells it, but where are you in the country? If you tell me where you are, I can tell you where to order stuff from, because you really want to save on shipping as much as you possibly can.
watch Krampus, what's the best one?
Well, watch the parades and get an idea of what the parades are like. Look for the words Krampuslauf, L-A-U-F. And Krampuslauf is kind of the name of the parade and festival.
You let them know Jones is here.
Let me get this glued up, maybe.
Yes, you hear Jonesy, guys.
Yeah, Jonesy is here.
Jonesy's here. Hyena Hoss is in Connecticut.
Okay, so then you probably want to go with like Monster Makers in Ohio. Those are good. You see how that angle cut down the center made it kind of a bevel?
What are your horns made of?
These horns are just a type of dense foam.
Hello, Robert White. Christy Jezereski, you have inspired me to make some mulled wine. A while back, I bought a bag of mulling spices.
Awesome. I love that. I'm not used to wearing a hat this much. And this is a very warm hat. But I feel like in order to be festive as much as possible, I gotta wear the hat. That's Jones.
Jones is here.
Jonesy is there.
Jonesy's here. Mulled cider a good substitute. I'm not old enough to drink yet. Absolutely.
Absolutely, you should.
Delicious.
Mulled cider is delicious.
From the Fox Rocks. Hi, Cat.
Hello, Taco. So let's do this. We're gonna puff his cheeks out a little bit. You know what I mean?
It says the other day I had some salted caramel whiskey and hot apple cider. It was delicious. That's a very good hat.
Thanks. Okay, so his cheeks. I'm gonna cut that line, and then I'll do something fun.
Jonesy makes me want to foster cats. It's been over a year with no cats in the house. My hat's off to those who can foster. I tried to foster, and the cat is still here, so I'll try again when we don't have 4 cats.
That's the cat we've had for 8 years, by the way. 11 years.
Does Norway celebrate Krampus-related stuff?
I think Norway is a little too far north.
Hello, Carrie Ann Olson, and Kristen Tozer wants to know what you're making.
I'm making a Krampus mask. And I'm making a Krampus mask in a different way than I ever have done it before. So, bear with me.
I love your necklace, Alan. What does it mean?
It means that it looks cool. My friend Alan made this, and it is his wolf medallion, and I thought it looked cool, so I bought it. It means I had $25, and I thought it looked cool, and I wanted to support a friend. And I'll look him up. I'll look him up here soon and find out his name, because a lot of people have asked about it.
Isaac Hill says Hoppy Packy Krampusnacht. John C. says Jones is a snuggly cat.
He is.
He is. Oh, here we go.
What's that mean,
fact
honey?
time.
It's time for a Krampus fact!
Alexa, stop.
Okay. Now I've got to look up a Krampus fact. Like, I had a few in my pocket, and I gave a few away. So now we got to go to the computer here. Pull up the Krampus fact.
Hey, Alan, I'm going to get the Krampus spell.
Awesome. Okay. So, here's my Krampus fact. In where Krampuses are celebrated, they have Krampuslaufs and Krampusnacht and all that. In those countries, the masks are celebrated pieces of folk art. So, but two things happen with that. There are shops that all they do all year is they make wooden Krampus masks. Most Krampus masks in Europe are carved out of wood. There's several different types of wood that they use. One is stone birch. I mean, but there's a bunch of different types of stone beech. There's a bunch of different types of wood that they use, but they carve Krampus masks out of wood. But the detail that they achieve in their carving is amazing. There's a lot of different styles of Krampus masks, and there's whole different categories and things. It's kind of well organized, you know, because they've been doing it for so long, and there's different types of Krampuses. But the masks themselves are considered folk art. So you might have to go to a specialty shop and pay up to $1,000 or 1,000 euros for a custom Krampus mask with real antlers and things. But you can also go into the thrift store, go into their version of Goodwill, and find Krampus masks because somebody upgraded and they donated their old Krampus masks to Goodwill. So if I ever go to Austria, my butt is going to hit up every Goodwill there to see if there's any Krampus masks. Yeah, so that is your Krampus fact. The fact that, and one of the reasons why I love the Krampus and the Krampus celebration so much is simply that it is a festival around masks in a way. Just like the Vejigante masks in Puerto Rico, which I'm also kind of fascinated with, and I want to learn more about that. Okay. That was your Krampus fact. I'm gonna
Alexa, set alarm for 15 minutes.
And now we put our
15 minutes.
Krampus
Set
images back up.
What kind of mask do you suggest to start with for beginners like myself? I'm trying to learn.
Okay, so the easiest way to learn is paper mache. Start making some masks out of paper mache. It is super simple, and yeah, paper mache. Remember when I cut those cheeks out? That allowed me to give a little bit of distance, and now he has a little more shape to his face.
Bob O'Brien says it's a Tiki Masks.
This will get more and more 3D as we go.
Where did Krampus masks originally come?
Austria, Germany, every country that touches the Alps has a Krampus of some sort.
Do you follow anyone that makes traditional Krampus masks?
Yes, if you on my Instagram, you'll see my Instagram follows. You'll see a guy named Miguel, whose last name I forget, and then there's a couple. I also follow #Perchton and #Krampus on Instagram, and you'll get them popping up.
Jason Nichols says it's Easter Island meets Thor.
We're getting there. This is a different process of mask making, and one of the things that I like about it is that you sort of have to see it and plan it. Now I'm going to cut these a little more jagged, and you'll lose a bit of that Easter Island feel. Hey, wife,
Yo,
thank you for helping me make Krampusnacht special.
what do you thank you for making the groups?
Thank you for making me mulled wine.
You love it. Do you know any bakers in the UK?
I'm afraid I do not. Off the top of my head. If you are a UK maker of Krampus masks, and I know you, I'm not shunning you or snubbing you. I just forget right now, because that's how my brain works.
When after you get a haunt, what's the best way to crawl around without breaking yourself?
Knee pads, man, knee pads. Do not be afraid to let technology help you.
I understand Christian Eberharder is a very good master.
Yeah, I have heard of that, yes.
Pop quiz, what are the Easter Island statues?
There was a point in time where I would have known this.
Hi, Eric Walker. Good night.
Good night, sir. Today is not that day, friends. Honey, did you set the timer for the next fact? You did. Perfect. Okay, so now, see, we're getting a little bit more in there. See, that feels a little more Krampusy. Yeah.
Why scissors instead of a knife?
Because they're easier. And I'm going to go ahead and let's make a nose for him.
Terrace says Mulled. Mulled?
No.
The Easter Island statues M-O-A-I.
Okay. I believe him. And all of this stuff that I'm doing, I assure you, I'm kind of just making it up on the spot, okay? This isn't like, I think this is going to make me a decent nose, but I have no idea.
EVA in the UK is super expensive.
Okay?
Happy to see you making some time to do a project for you.
This is actually for a customer. Now, the night's festivities are a project for me, so in that sense, I am. But this is going to be for a customer.
Barry Ward, I saw your video of making a cage out of a barrel and I was very impressed. I also tried to make skeleton hands out of spray foam and I was sad that I'm not creative, but practice makes me.
Practice, yes. That was not the first thing that I sculpted by any means. You know, I've sculpted a bunch of stuff. So have a reference, you know, and I think you'll get it in time.
How does one, I don't know, escape from a forest demon they angered while going on a night hike? Ask theoretical, of course, but a quick response would be nice.
What's the question?
How do you escape a forest demon that you angered while on a night hike? This is Hyena Hoss.
Okay, so odds are really good. Stop, take your clothes off, and put them on backwards. Because that is something, you said forest demon, and one of the things that forest demons will historically do to you is move the forest around to make you get lost. So by putting on your clothing in reverse, they can't tell if you're coming or going, and they stop messing with you. So there you go. That is how you appease forest critters.
Third Degree says you're the hardest working man in Haunting Hour.
I love what I do. I'm very passionate about what I do.
Donica 12 is laughing. That's, oh, sorry, that's not something else.
So these are just some pieces.
That's what it says the wine is kitchen.
I'm not, listen, I didn't just say, hey, take your clothes off and like send me pictures. No, what I said was, that's how you stop a forest critter.
Christina Mantai, hello.
I don't make up the old stuff, I just tell it to you.
Krampusnacht. Kenny Goodpaster, you're one of the best teachers on how to make stuff. Thank you.
That's very kind, thank you.
Diana Haas says, okay, so I changed my clothes around and they started throwing drachmas at me.
Drachmas?
Don't know what that is.
So a drachma is a coin. Are you in Eastern Europe?
Greyhouse Hawk says, I love that there was a forest demon answer.
Listen, this is not my first forest demon rodeo, okay? I own a monster museum, and I have all of this useless monster knowledge that I'm more than happy to pass on should people need it.
John Hayes, when you did page out of a picture frame, 13 Ghosts Inspired. I couldn't find any of that type of frame at my dollar stores.
It's just any frame will work that's that size. And I think it was 8 by 10 or 8.5 by 11. I forget which one. But any frame that size will work. I mean, you're going to paint it anyway. So don't sweat what it looks like.
Are we talking about the Leshy Slavic folklore?
Leshy is one. That's a type of forest demon. But there's a lot of them. There's a lot of different types. And a lot of them have that same fix of putting your clothes on backwards. Okay, so let's see if this will make a nose shape when we put it together.
Mama Daza, just wanted to say I didn't mean to be a buzzkill the other night. I'm sorry I came off that way. I appreciate you, and I didn't mean to bring you negative.
Since I don't know what you're talking about, I would assume that things are fine. So no worries, homie.
I would love to make a latex mask, but I've not got the talent to do it, and I can't find any monster tutorial groups in the UK.
Well, you have a tutorial group right here. So get on it. And talent is not an excuse, okay? Talent's not a thing. Do you have the time to practice? Do you have the time to work on it a little bit? Then you're going to be able to make a mask.
Jason
That's all there is
Nichols
to it.
Says if EVA is too hard to find or cord, then use cardboard and hot melt glue.
Yep, you could always use cardboard for the same exact stuff that I'm doing right now.
Ron Shep says there's no such thing as useless monster knowledge.
If you're being chased by a monster.
Hilltop Zombie Shop says, may Krampus judge all of you with mercy this night. Lisa Messiah, Forest Demon, love monster knowledge. Taking my clothes off now and turning them backwards. Shout out from Baba Yaga.
Hooray!
Oh my God, Lisa. You never know what's going to come out of the mouth of Lisa Messiah. Christina Mantai, I'm having knee surgery sometime next year. Is a stilt actor still a good idea?
I don't think it's a bad idea. I mean, get your knee fixed and then you'll be fine.
Can you fiberglass, cardboard, and paper mache?
Yes, you can. I would resin more than fiberglass because fiberglass implies an itchiness. And as soon as you say the word fiberglass, people are going to say, I'm itchy, whether they are or not. So I would go with just a nice resin. And they do have that. Look up like Mulled Life. That's a store in the UK that sells a lot of resins. Really good stuff.
What video has the 13 ghost frames? Page.
So that would be the video where I do, I make a head cage for the jackal. So it's head cage, I think it is called. And I think I mounted my nose too low. I'm going to put my nose again on a little higher.
Do you sketch out your masks before you start making?
No.
I heard from Missing 411 most targeted people wear red, get lost in woods, often by wearing red colors.
They get found or lost?
Get lost in the woods most often by wearing red colors. Justin Williams, how are you doing?
I think there's words in it.
Crimson Griffin, long-time viewer from the future, first-time live viewer. I just want to say that I appreciate that you are a fan of the Masters of the Universe, and thank you for the live stream.
No problem. You know what? That is something. I think that nostalgia has taken a big upturn this year because we're just looking back to happier times, you know? So I've looked back a lot at Masters of the Universe. I've always loved it, but
I have no idea what that is.
that was Doyle jumping off of the roof and landing on top of the trailer.
Oh my God. For the stupid opening.
Which he does a surprising amount.
Alan, is contact cement the only thing we can use with the EVA?
It's the best thing to use.
Jenkins has been with us all evening. Well, the door is open here, and she just...
Yeah, the whole back doors, the whole back of the shop is open. You guys don't see that a lot. Like that's outside, you know. So
She goes...
yeah, she's kind of in and out, like just checking in on us and stuff.
And Doyle just jumped on the roof and...
Stirred the dirds.
Stirred us.
He stirred the dirge.
Before you use fiberglass, check out Bracky UK's dragging videos. He speaks clearly about working with fiberglass. He did.
Yes.
That was funny.
He tells you his feelings on fiberglass. And I share his feelings on fiberglass, for the record. Okay, so this looks a bit like a weird Viking helmet right now, but it does have a nose and such. And we're gonna put this on its form, and I'm gonna do the tongue next, I think. I'm gonna do a nice long tongue. And then I'm gonna get the EVA foam clay and detail this out.
Have you heard of Adventure Zone and this week? I think you'd love it.
I have not heard of it.
How's the Grinch mask coming along?
Which one? It's shipped. It's gone. Out the dough, yo.
Third Degree says cats seem super active, dogs are sat down.
I played with the dogs quite a bit today out in the leaves, and I think I wore them out.
I would love a big workshop like yours.
I would love for you to have a big workshop like mine. You having a giant workshop would make me happy.
How are you going to strap the mask to your head?
It's like I was reading your mind. See this little contraption that I have here? This is the apparatus that we're going to set this mask up on. So the next thing I do is I glue this to that. Boom shakalaka.
That's what it says. It went from Easter Island to African tribal to Viking. It's a universal mask.
That's right. And my crown was a little high, so I cut it. And now I'll glue that together. Alexa, stop.
Alexa, stop.
This is actually really good timing because I want to attach glue to this. And then while that glue is drying, I can give another Krampus fact.
Lisa Messiah, it's time for more Krampus facts.
It's coming. It's coming.
Alexa, set alarm for 15 minutes.
15 minutes. Starting now.
Baba Dazza says, I'm so excited you're doing this project.
And I don't think that we have reached the potential of EVA foam at all in mask making. I make a lot of EVA foam masks, not this exact way, but I make a lot of EVA foam masks, and I see that being kind of a staple coming up. I like that it doesn't really absorb sweat from an actor. It does to a small degree, but not terribly so. All right, now let's go do a Krampus fact. Yes, we have to get a little fire going. So your Krampus fact is going to be late. We can handle that bit of bad news. There are spots in my yard where the leaves are calf deep. So we will eventually gather all of them and burn them. But for now, we're just going to have these couple piles here. Krampus fact number, this is officially like 5, but I think I've given like 8 Krampus facts. So let's say this is Krampus fact number 9. So Krampus fact number 9. During a Krampuslauf, which is the Krampus parade, there's more than just Krampuses in that parade. There's a lot of other characters that supplement and kind of round out that cast a little bit. So there's always Krampus, At the end of the parade, there is always St. Nicholas. He is the positive thing at the end that drives out the monsters. And the reason why they say that Santa Claus only gives presents to good little children, all the bad kids are gone. Krampus done yanked them away and took them back to the cave or took them to hell or the lake of fire they tossed them in. Wherever that region's Krampus takes the bad kids, he took them. But anyway, there's other characters. Most Krampus troops, they have to field at least 10 Krampus, and then they have to field Perchta, which is a witch. She's a bad witch. They have to field a Perchta in their group. They have to have a Hans Trapp in their group. They don't have to, but that's an optional one. There's Perchta, there's Hans Trapp, there's Schnabel Perchten, which is one of my favorites, Schnabel Perchten. And they have this big beak, and they have like little old lady do-rags on. Now, they're not called do-rags when little old ladies wear them, because they wear them. Honey, what do you call it when a little old lady wears a scarf on her head?
Turban?
Like a babushka scarf?
Oh, yeah, just like little.
I don't know the word, but when they have it so their head is out and they tie it under their chin. Well, there's Schnabelperchten have that, but they have big beaks. And what they do is, if you're bad, they will cut you open and stuff you full of garbage and then sew you back up. And I just think that's wonderful. And they have really big, scary scissors, which is great. So Schnabelperchten, Hans Trapp, who is another kind of a traveling anti-Santa, but there's a whole host of characters that are also involved. So it's not just about Krampus. It is about all of these different spirits of the season, and each one has their own use. My favorite, which isn't always represented in the parades, but sometimes you will see a Yule Cat. A Yule Cat will only attack you on Christmas. They will only attack you on Christmas if you are not wearing if you're wearing a piece of clothing that you got for Christmas, then the Yule Cat will not attack you. But if you don't have on a piece of new clothing, then the Yule Cat will attack you. And I just think that kind of practicality in gift giving, so that the monsters won't get you, is a wonderful thing. And that is why boyfriends who know their girlfriends really well always get them pajamas. So the Yule Cat will not attack them. Maybe you like getting pajamas. That's fine too. But that's like good gift number. Well, everybody likes pajamas.
Catsmith says Yule Cat is based in Iceland, I believe.
Yes, a little further north.
I'm excited about the Yule Cat and the garbage monster.
Schnabelperchten. Schnabelperchten.
Who knew there were so many monsters at the holidays?
I did. It's important. Monsters are very important. You judge a hero by its villains. That's why Batman has so much respect and Superman does not. Superman's fine, but he doesn't have a rogues gallery like Batman does. You judge a hero by its villains. If we as a society shun villains, then there's nothing really to hold us up. It is our being able to weigh ourselves against monsters, against that which is not people, that allows us to be better humans. Better monsters make better humans. That's the Cliff Notes version of the 10 minutes what I just said.
Yolanda says Jenkins could be a Yule Cat.
She could.
Jensen Rich says those leaves have got to smell good right now. Bernie has got to love the campfires.
They really do. We love it around here.
Laura Beauty says, wow, what a cage around the face.
Yeah.
Kirsten is my nickname in college. Kerchief is what the old ladies wear on their heads.
A kerchief. Ma in her kerchief and I in my cap had just settled down for a long winter's night.
Cat Swift says their tuxedo cat could be a Yule Cat with that super belly.
He's a big boy. I think I have to do this the old-fashioned way.
Schnabelperchten would make a great EVA mix.
Yes, it would. And I have a pattern for it in the other room. And I helped someone, some very dear friends, I helped them make it, but I have not made one for me. So I have a pattern sitting in the other room. See, I just popped that little bit of glue, and now I can... I don't think so. We'll find out together.
What do you think of the Assassin's Creed Valhalla?
I don't know. I don't play a lot of video games. I'm not good at it. Not that I'm not good at video. I don't do a lot of it. I play Conan Exiles right now, and mostly what I do is I build stuff in it. Like I build castles. Shannon thinks I'm not working when I'm playing it, but sometimes I actually just build haunt layouts because it's a really good program for that.
I would like for you to not be working. It's if that's the case that you're not working and you play Conan, that's good.
This is my ASH, my anti-sexy helmet. This when you want to never know the touch of a woman, you wear a helmet just like this.
Barbie says this could be bad. I see blue in the dude.
It highlights your giant forehead, which is nice. And your hairline, which looks like it's a receding hairline, but it's the same one that you've had since you were 15 years old. Yeah. It's like that.
Rob, right, it's a birth control helmet.
It is a birth control helmet.
ASH helmet. Where's the retainer?
What's that?
Where's the retainer? ASH helmet. Love it.
Perfect. Okay. Now I glue it back onto the hand. But this is set up, so now it's a fun mask.
You got hair stuck to your face.
I need a brush. I have to get a werewolf brush. That's not hair. That's hot glue. That's a strand. That's one of those long strands of hot glue.
Oh my God! What is that?
But it's black hot glue.
That's crazy. But look, it's gotta get off your face. Crop his hair. He don't care.
Okay.
Random question. Is it illegal to scare people on Halloween with a bladeless chainsaw? Is it illegal to scare people on Halloween with a bladeless chainsaw?
So here's the problem with that. You don't know what scares people in the sense of how scared are they going to be. In Texas, if you don't know them and you're not like at a haunted house, I wouldn't do it. Because in Texas, if you come at someone with a chainsaw, they will shoot you dead, and you were attacking them with a weapon, and they did not know otherwise. So they were defending themselves. So I don't think it's a good idea. Is it legal? I don't think it's illegal. But it's a terrible idea. Therefore, they didn't have to make a law saying, hey, don't do that. Wife, you should tell a Krampus story.
Krampus story. Okay.
What was the first time you saw me dressed up as Krampus? How's that? Is that a good enough prompt, or did you have a different story in mind?
No.
Beans party, maybe?
Beans party. Jim Shackelford's party. Beans party?
Zombie Manor's party was first.
Zombie party was the first time I saw Krampus. Well, actually, I already had something planned.
There, say that.
So, how much time do I have?
Start going.
Swiftly. All right. So, word got around that Alan started to do Krampus I had coworkers who thought this was interesting, and it is interesting because they see the pictures and they think that's great and what have you. And they said, "Man, I need you to come scare my kid." But you can't just be going all over the Metroplex. I guess you could. And so, as a favor for one of my buddies, I said, "Well, what's your kid's name?" Gave me the kid's name. "What's the kid been doing?" Told me what the kid's been doing. So when Alan was dressed up as Krampus, I did a video for him. And so Krampus comes out of the dark, and he goes up in the camera, and he has the kid's name and the kid's vices, the things the kid's been doing, and tells the kid that if you don't, start being good, all these terrible things are going to happen. Basically, he made a threatening video to the kid, which the dad thought it was hilarious. We all thought it was hilarious, and we kind of went about our business. And he showed it to another friend who came to me and said, "Hey, your husband does that monster thing at Christmas." I'm like, "Yeah." And he said, "Could you scare my kid? My kid's been doing bad things." "Sure. What's your kid's name?" Give the kid's name, tells him what the kid's been doing. Alan gets dressed up. We make another video. And this started to make a chain reaction of people who soon, I had people, I didn't even know who they were asking me, if your husband does that scary monster at Christmas, can my kid's name is this and my kid's been doing this, can you make a video? And part of me thinks I shouldn't do this. I don't know you. I don't know who you are, and I don't know what condition your kids are in. And then part of me was like, whatever. And Alan was like, "Let's do it!" And so of course Alan was immediately now making videos to scare kids. And Donica 12, it's a money-making opportunity. We did it for free. We probably could have. We didn't. we give everything away. And so yeah, he started making videos. And soon, like I said, we just didn't know, we didn't even know, so we just sent it to them through Facebook Messenger or Dropbox or something. And then we get these messages back going, "Thank you so much. Look, he stopped cussing," or "She's been making her bed," or "He's been cleaning his room every day." And we thought, well, okay. And so I always say this is why. Ooh, Alexa, stop! It's time for a Krampus fact. Anyway, I thought this is why.
You started before I said the fact.
This is why.
I'm gonna give myself 10 minutes for this.
This is why the Lord never gave us children, because we scare everybody else's children. But it was a lot of fun, and people loved it. And this was back in, I think this started in 2012. And we still get people who, their kids are older now, so it doesn't scare them as much. But then we have people who find out and they ask us, can you come scare my kids, or can you make a video? Sure. Well, let's see what we can do. And so we kind of figure that's us doing our good for being the awesome aunt and uncle or godparents that that we are, so that we help raise children correctly, even if they're not our own.
Through fear and tyranny.
Through fear and tyranny, we do. So that was actually a lot of fun. Especially since, you couldn't go see the kids. We could make a video.
Alexa, count down 5 minutes.
So they loved it. So, fun.
5 minutes, starting now.
And that's it. All right.
5 minutes, you get another Krampus fact.
Okay. Not a bad side business. Wheels are turning. People would pay for those videos. I'll send you my grandbaby booze with the name for it. What is the best way to attach a latex mask to an animatronic mechanism? Whoa!
A latex mask to what?
To an animatronic mechanism.
I would foam it right onto the. I would foam it onto the skeleton. So set up the skeleton with holes in it so foam can go in there and grab it, and then yeah, that's what I would do. I always foam it right onto the frame.
We did not keep the videos. We would send the videos to the parents and we just delete them. So we don't have them. We made so many, we just kept going. Whoremonger, Texas is like West Virginia. Shoot first, never ask questions.
Yeah, there are no questions. We're home. Did you want that person at your house? No. Okay, no questions. You're good. Thank you. Sorry to bother you, ma'am.
We're trying to catch up here. Thank you, Barbara. That's my snowflake necklace. I'm making up to you. Comic 12 says, well, Santa and Mrs. Claus take care of the good kids. Have to have someone deal with the naughty ones.
Right.
Maureen aside. Oh my God, here's your Patreon bonus. Personalized Krampus messages. That's a great idea.
That's a good idea. Okay. I'm stealing your idea. I didn't order my own.
Thank you, Maureen.
No, Jonesy, it's not wrong. They said I could.
Hey, Ezekiel. Cat Swift, I live in a senior park. I'll bet if I started planning and marketing, I'd get a customer base of at least 100 grandparents pay me to do this thing.
A lot of bad grandkids out there, I'm telling you.
Ryan Chow wants to know what you were making.
I'm making a Krampus mask. I'm making this one out of EVA foam. Normally I make them differently. I sculpt it and I mold it out of latex. But I wanted to do something that was just a little bit different this year. And I wanted to do something that was kind of special. This will be a one-of-a-kind Krampus mask. And it doesn't look like much right now, but I swear this is going to be awesome. This will be a reasonable value of awesome.
Hello, Angie Rogers.
Hi, Angie. Angie has not been able to watch lately because she's had to work.
What are the stuff you are putting on the mask?
This is an EVA foam clay. This is air dry foam clay right here. And this is sold at Michael's and or Hobby Lobby or craft stores.
I love your mask. It already looks awesome.
We're getting there.
Piggy, finally made my first purchase on your site tonight. Woohoo!
Really?
What'd you get?
That's awesome. Am I playing on the big screen in the tattoo parlor?
What?
I think, don't you play me on the big screen? I think so.
Oh, Piggy.
Yeah. And there's just customers watching this guy make monsters. This is a type I haven't used before. It's a little smushier.
Did I start the 15-minute timer?
What's that? I started a 5-minute timer.
Oh, so you haven't done your story yet?
No.
Okay.
No, because you started it before I even had the leaves burning. You started the next one, which I think you're ripping me off, wife.
Tonight is all things Krampus, stories, info, masks, and a hat.
Yeah. Oh yeah, my hat. Thanks.
Ryan Chow, when will you put the Jack Frost masks on your website?
Aren't they on the website?
They're on the website.
I gotta talk to my website person. My website person says that they're on the website.
Hang on, Ryan.
The website person says hang on. Oh. So whenever you're doing anything that's like two sides of the face, like there's a cheekbone on each side of the face. So I made one big piece, and then I am using it, I cut it in half to make sure that I have the same amount of mass on each side. And that way I'm not going to have one that's much bigger than the other, just because I planned it out.
Hey, Grampy UK.
Hey, Graffy, we were talking about you earlier, and your love of fiberglass.
Ryan. Sorry, I said that wrong.
Alexa, stop.
Rylan Chow, I put the link to the Jack Frost mask that is on the website.
Yeah.
Will that crack when it dries?
No, it should not crack when it dries. It'll actually kind of become just like this EVA foam. It dries a very similar texture to that.
Alan should have put his wine in a big plastic cup. Jack Frost and elf blanks are not up, just finished masks.
We didn't know you were asking about blanks. I didn't know. We'll get there.
Thank you, Scott.
What'd Scott do?
Scott Pointer said I have a great smile. It's very sweet. Thank you.
I'm partial to it. That's my wife of 16 years. See, now I'm just putting all the parts of the face on with this clay.
week, but I can wait till after the holidays. Kat, what blanks were you asking about? Jack Frost and an elf?
And it is wonderful that you guys ask us while we're on live. However,
Please.
it is best for all parties involved if you follow that up with an email,
That would be so great.
because a lot is happening during a live. So,
Hey, Kat, yeah, if you'll send an email, that would be great. We want to make sure we get that taken care of. Are you still working at dark hour?
yes. Yes. Dark Hour has had a a format change a little bit with all of the things that have happened this year. So that has allowed me a little more time to do YouTube videos.
Sato K says, I have a layer of dust on my drawing tablet. Does that mean I need to start drawing again?
Get to work, you.
Graffy UK says, I've got a fiberglass job on in the morning. I just got to get on with it. Cat Swift says, I understand how busy things are. I'll remind you in January. Chances are, Kat, is that if there's something that isn't on the website, chances are it was already, like a blank was already painted and out the door before I got a chance to get a picture of it. So, like
Sometimes that happens.
I just put beast mode up because we finally got a picture of the beast mode that didn't go flying out the door. And I had to do it fast because he was like ready to take it immediately. So that's probably why. Have you seen Little Monsters?
Yes. Howie Mandel? Yes.
Angie Rogers, I got my fur and eyelash yarn waiting on one more fur piece.
Awesome.
Hawkeye 79. I'm sorry, Hawkeye 79. Are you going for a wood look using this clay?
Well, first thing no, I'm not. Because wooden Krampus masks are not, they don't look like they're made out of wood. They look like skin. They do an amazing job. They coat the snot out of them with whatever, and they look like flesh. So that is more along the lines of what I'm going for.
For animatronics, do you recommend latex or fiberglass for the body?
Fiberglass. It's going to last longer, and you have a metal frame in there. So why put something on the outside that's going to rot when the metal frame on the inside is going to be good for a long time?
Queen Messiah says, scary kid videos, what a hoot. Happy Krampusnacht on the eve of St. Nicholas with his wild friend Krampus. This has been great. Glad you were recording it so I can come back. Thanks, Lisa.
Glad to have you on for a while, Lisa. Thank you.
Good to hear from you. Love to Betty. You guys be safe. Graffy UK, I've got a baby dragon to do for the same customer's granddaughter. Oh, that's great. Andy Ayer, hello. Graffy UK, your dragons are heaven. And I love the ghost tour of your basement, too.
Yes.
That was exciting. Yeah, thank you. Third Degree would like to know it's time for a Krampus fact.
Oh, you're right. Okay.
Thank you, Warren.
Well, all right. You know what? I'm gonna do my Krampus fact from right here.
Warren keeps
All right.
going.
So, Krampus fact. All right. Krampus actually has a harbinger who shows up 2 weeks before. Wait. Yeah, like a week before Krampus shows up. Like there's a lot that happens in Europe for Christmas. But right before Krampus shows up, there is a character that comes as a warning. And he comes and says, listen, you better be good. Because Krampus is coming and Santa's coming. So you'd better be good so Krampus doesn't take you away and so that Santa brings you gifts. And that character's name is, he was popularized because in Europe, a group of people who used this character quite a bit went to Pennsylvania. And in Pennsylvania, that is one of the last vestiges where you will hear about and see a bell-snickle come holiday season. Bell-snickles they're often very hairy men with big bushy beards, and they wear animal skins, and they have leaves on them quite a bit. Bell-snickles. And I've never seen an episode of The Office because I just don't watch a lot of TV. But apparently Dwight from The Office dressed up as a Belsnickel, and that was kind of a thing. But Belsnickels that's an actual historical Christmas monster. And Belsnickel was a bad person, and he was tasked by Santa to warn children to be good, or else a bad fate would befall them, which is Krampus. Yeah.
Alexa, set alarm for 15 minutes.
So your Krampus fact was that
15 minutes.
there was a harbinger to the Krampus that was a Belsnickel.
Thank you, Warren, for keeping us on task. Mike Murphy, hello, makers of monsters.
Hello, Mike Murphy.
Skin and Bones, hey, Alan and Shannon, I just dropped in to say hi.
Hi there.
To all of you at the Creepers, I gotta run again, but I'll be back and see you in the next live show. Thank you, Skin and Bones.
Awesome. Yes, thank you.
Be safe. What is this play called?
This is called, this is air dry foam clay. This is cosplay. Some TNT cosplay supply calls it C4. It is an air dry version of EVA foam, and I like it a lot. It's like you're sculpting with marshmallows, so it's not like super amazing for detail, but it is good.
Your Krampus hat is so much better than mine. It says Sprinkler 4612.
Well, you could make yours look just like mine. It's not hard, man. You got this.
YouTube says, what doing?
Hello, YouTube. Once again, you said what doing last time you showed up, if I recall.
It's kind of funny is that I've kind of started noticing YouTube has a pattern in
Yeah.
posts, and I said,
So we are doing a live Krampus event because it is Krampusnacht right now, which is a European holiday, mostly celebrated by countries that touch the Alps mountains. So I am making a Krampus mask. Every 15 minutes I give another Krampus fact, and I should have a mask that you'll very much see where it's going by the end of the stream. If not, really have it down.
Masato Pay says, every time I hear Belsnickel, I think of The Office.
Yeah.
Where do you recommend to buy pneumatic animatronics?
There's a company called Poison Props that I like. There is a company, Distortions Unlimited. I always recommend Distortions. They are awesome and amazing. So Poison Props, Distortions, Fright Props has some good kits. There's another company called DC Props, which I also really like. DC Props.
Andy Ayer, I've been fighting for a while on the hands for the Angel Line building. I used up to 2 cans of spray foam.
What are you fighting with? Like, what's the problem?
Warmonger says, I missed a few live episodes. What has become of Shannon's ghost sculpt?
We haven't molded it yet, but it is well preserved enough. I just took a look at it today, actually, where it lives. It'll live, so I'll probably get it molded tomorrow, is my guess.
Good night, Hockey79 says, have a good night.
You know what? I might mold it tomorrow and do that as a Patreon video.
Well, you guys, it's fun hanging out listening while I work on my Santa Jack skeleton.
Hooray.
Skeleton. Bobby Dodson says, oh my God, Alan, you would so appreciate why this is on The Office. I never realized who that was going to rewatch that episode. Chad Smith, Belsnickel is the new Christmas Chronicles 2, is in the new Christmas Chronicles 2 on Netflix.
Awesome.
Scarecrow 77, that's why I love this channel. I'm always loving new stuff. Let's see.
Yeah, Belsnickel did not come with everybody else. He came early. He said Krampus is coming. He said Santa's coming.
I heard Poison Props was bought by Fright Props recently.
They were, yes. Yeah, but the company name will stay Poison Props.
Gorgalore is awesome too.
Gorgalore is awesome, but they don't do what I think of as traditional animatronics as much. I love Gorgalore's work. Their animatronics are second to none. They invented, they certainly really helped bring into the world haunt puppetry, which I am very thankful for. I think we can even go further with that. And also, I mean, Gordon Lore does a lot. I have a lot of respect for Kevin Albee. He does a lot of new, groundbreaking work.
Andy Ayer, the problem phone says, it isn't filling the fingers completely, it's making nothing but a mess.
Yeah, okay. Here's your problem. Put your foam in there, and then poke a hole in your fingertips. Because what's happening is that foam is off-gassing. And that gas doesn't have anywhere to go. So that gas, it gathers in the end of the finger, and then it won't compress. Once it's compressed enough, there's nowhere for it to go. So it leaves that little fingertip empty. Poke a hole in your fingertip. Poke a couple little holes in there, and that way the gas can get out and the foam can expand all the way. That'll solve your problem.
Will you put the foam mask on the website?
No, this is one of a kind. Only doing this for one customer who ordered something one of a kind. Now, if you want me to make you one, I can do that. But of course, it won't look exactly the same because of the nature of this style of build.
Big Ink, I did. I got your order. Thank you.
What is Big Ink?
Big Ink orders links.
Awesome.
So I had to check on that. Sorry, guys. Got some stuff going on in the background here. Okay. Will you ever make any animatronics?
It's possible that I'll do it for YouTube Wednesday, little stuff that we're doing for Dark Hour. But that's not my big passion, and I don't want to hurt anybody who makes them already, if that makes any sense.
Realm says, I love Lore. I would love to have one of the puppets, but I don't have $4,000 to just give up.
Well, you wouldn't just give it up. You would buy a puppet with it. So...
Is foam clay smooth with water? Was foam clay smooth with water?
Yes, you can smooth foam clay with water.
Have you done a costume where you had a patron sitting on your shoulders like a tall monster or something like that?
Yes, I have done that. And I fixed a lot of them. There used to be a company, I forget their name. There used to be a company who made them, and they were all over the place. And Wayne Toth, it was Toth Studios, but Wayne Toth was the guy who owned the company, and he was also a movie effects artist. And they looked wonderful. The first wave didn't have the best engineering, but he did fix the engineering. But I've repaired a lot of those.
Andy Ayer says, yep, it's definitely the gas buildup. I'll try that tomorrow. I'm not going to try it anymore and have my girlfriend wake up in a trashed apartment.
Yeah, clean your apartment. That would make you awesome.
Big Ink Media, just Google the Austrian wooden mask and whoa, super detailed.
Amazing, aren't they?
Carrie Ann Olson, how did you make the support for the portion that sits on your shoulders?
Well, when I saw it done, it was copper tubing that they used. But what I normally use is EVA foam, and then I use pipe insulation, the soft pipe insulation that's like $7 a stick. I use that in order to make it. Hang on. What's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, I use that to make it not grabby. And just make it tight, and because the PVC pipe has enough flex to it, it'll grab on. And it sits on your shoulders, but also do a bar that comes down like this on the front and the back. And then you can run a strap under the arm, because this is where you want the stability is going to be. The weight is on your shoulders, but the stability comes from it being anchored down here around your, not your waist, but around your abdomen. No?
You may have already been asked this before, but do you do any animatronic projects?
I repair them mostly, and every now and then I'll make a skin for them. Most of the time what I do is I do a lot of the latex work, and then someone else at Dark Hour will do the shop work of doing the welding and all that for it. I'm involved, and I might design the mechanics, but normally I do the latex work more than anything else.
Hello.
Hey, Gene. Okay. So, yeah.
Realms would like to know, do you have any videos on fixing a clock?
I have some videos where I was fixing masks on live streams, but I don't have any videos that are here's how to repair whatever. But I could do one if you would like, Realms.
As he just says, it's Sunday afternoon, a bowl of dim sum, no kids, no wife, no pants, and a still-fish show on Cerubi.
Sweet.
Psycho X-Man!
What's up, buddy?
Happy holidays, sir.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
Good to see you on, sir. So yeah, so this is the EVA foam clay going on an EVA foam kind of frame that I made. And now this will get haired out and stuff like a normal Krampus. As soon as we hit like 9, 10 or so, I'm gonna flip-flop and start doing the horns for the Krampus, probably after the next Krampus fact. So.
By the way, I saw the video on the wooden deer. It looks good. Just
Thanks.
do that one or make more for Shannon.
Shannon wants more, and if I have time, I'll make more because I enjoyed making it.
Psycho Axeman says, WTF are you building, Alan?
I'm making a Krampus mask out of EVA foam. So this is a straight buildup. See? So it's a straight buildup mask, which I don't do a lot of, and I haven't done a lot with this EVA foam clay, but...
Brown says, I would love that if you don't mind.
No, I don't mind, sir.
Ryland Chow, did you go to school to learn how to design masks?
No. No. I went to the internet.
Gene Sanford says, I'm chilling, eating warm fried bread and chocolate milk.
Technically, I learned before the internet, but there's a lot of design references and stuff on the internet that'll really help with what we do.
Gene Sanford says, I'm interested in any EVA type of stuff.
I'm very happy with this stuff. This stuff I like a lot. This is the one that I either got it from Michaels or from Hobby Lobby. I don't remember which one right now, but...
Digging Media says that mask is going from tiki to terrifying.
Yeah, I'm happy with where he's going.
Creature of the Night. Happy Krampusnacht to you beautiful couple from the Honkers in Portland, Oregon.
Hooray! Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's Krampusnacht.
Father Gaza says they sell stick gear like that at fancy boutique stores for a lot of money. I've seen them in places before.
So, when I was younger, my Uncle Don was staying at my grandmother's house for a while. I was a kid, so no one really explained to me why he was there. But when he was there, he's like, I need some money. And he kind of casually said this to people, and he went before Home Depot, like Home Depot did not exist, went to Moore's hardware store, and he bought some fence pickets. And he cut them, and he made the fanned rose trellises, and he put them outside, and I think he sold 10 or 15 of those in like 2 or 3 days, just from people driving by, rose trellis, and I think they were $10 or something like that. And that really stuck with me as I can make stuff and sell it to people to make money. So, yeah, luckily, people want monsters, you know?
Which phone play is this? I tuned in late. Is it hard or sandable?
This is, well, let's find out together if it's sandable. It's probably dremelable once it cures up. This was bought at Hobby Lobby, and non-toxic, lightweight, air-drying foam clay is perfect for adding details to cosplay costumes.
Psycho Axeman says UVA clay, it's pretty interesting material. You have to wet it a bit.
Sandable and paintable. Yes, I'm just getting more on and I'm going to be adding more here, adding water here shortly. Alexa, stop.
Jean Drake. My mom and her parents are from Germany and have learned more tonight. They just never talked about this, and they lived there at Christmas with people. That's very cool.
That's awesome. I love that this is. Are you implying that this is getting your family talking, or is it that you've just learned from this broadcast? Which it's about time for another Krampus fact.
Krampus fact.
I want to get this other little piece
Can
on.
you go faster? Are you going to do an ugly Christmas sweater?
I hadn't thought about doing an ugly Christmas sweater.
Amy Watkins, Monster Camp 6.
Hey!
Hey, Amy. Rome says, I'm going to try to make a pneumatic demon dog and wondered if you have any idea on how to make it look good. Do you know how I can make the head with a moving mouth?
All right, so first of all, your pneumatic demon dog, cover it in fur, okay? That might not be your first choice. You might want to go like the devil dogs from Ghostbusters and make them skin. But it's your first project, though, cover it in fur. What sucks is that fur is a little bit pricey. However, it hides a multitude of sins. And you can get away with bigger seams and stuff and allowances on your work if you make a fur-covered monster. So, Krampus fact time.
G. Gray says it got his family talking.
So, Krampus. The name Krampus comes from the German word for claw, which I don't know what it is. And Krampus always has claws, teeth, and horns because the horns of the Krampus are the horns of the mountain range. And the teeth of the Krampus is the teeth and the bite of winter. All of those things, that's why the nature spirit for winter is Krampus. It's harsh. It's a harsh time. And one of the reasons why we have Christmas lights is because you would put lights as much as you could in your window or just outside your house because it's so dark. Like, we live in the country, okay? And it's dark here. And there's still electric lights all over the place. But it's dark. I can only imagine how dark it got in the 1200s, in the 1300s. How dark was it outside at night? Because almost everywhere there's light bleed. But lights up at Christmas time, Christmas lights, were so that if you were stuck outside in the cold, and the cold has teeth, then you could find a safe place to go. So they were a way to help guide people to somewhere safe when, in those really bad conditions outside. So that's where Christmas lights started, and that is how the Krampus got named. So there's 2 Christmas facts for you.
Alexa, set alarm for 15 minutes.
2 Krampus facts.
15 minutes. Starting now.
Okay, G. Gray said he got his family talking.
That is wonderful.
Big Dog says hello.
Hello.
And Jason Nichols says, I got a hug from an Austrian woman while playing in Krampus at Denton, Texas Holiday Light Festival. She kept making us and was crying.
You know what? It's
It's awesome.
there's a lot to us just embracing that other culture, being able to just enjoy something that they do. And I think that's a wonderful thing. There's a lot of crying about cultural appropriation. I don't see that as long as what you're doing is fun. I think the world needs Krampus. The world needs more monsters. Krampus is a monster. Krampus has changed my life in that I now have a season, which is not as big as Haunt season, but it's close, of making Krampus masks and all these winter monster masks and evil elves and things that I haven't been able to do. And I think that boom of haunted houses opening for Christmas and Krampus being introduced, they kind of came up at the same time. So it's a wonderful thing. And our Christmas has become, our Christmas holiday, in my opinion, has become too nice, too fancy, too homogenized, too commercial. We need to inject a little bit of darkness in it in order for it to have any interest, you know? It can't be all wonderful all the time. Where's that dark side? And I think Krampus is a good way to bring that in, you know?
Appropriation says phone play. That's very cool. I've never seen it before.
Neat stuff. It's kind of like sculpting with bubble gum.
Bridget Willis says hello and hope that this much. Hello, Bridget.
Hey, Bridget.
Riot Demon says, I lived on an island in Norway as a kid. Holy crap, it was a dark during the winter.
Yes, I bet it was.
Jason Nichols says you were at the event too.
I was. I was a giant white Krampus.
What is the
And
best,
you were a little white
What
Krampus.
is the best modeling play for a dinner?
Whatever you can get your hands on. Honestly, I like water-based clay. It's messy, so be aware that it's messy. But I like it.
Ezekiel says, what was the first instance of Krampus you ever came across?
I read it in a book. I read about Krampus in a book. I'm not having a lot of luck getting, like, this isn't like merging together. So we're going to go for texture, kids.
Bob Boyd says it's too commercialized. Andy Ayer says the Night King. Bridget Willis says, watching your videos on how to make stuff is helping me make an awesome haunted path. I want to thank you for sharing your talent with us. Haunted path.
I love that.
Don't you know that's awesome?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Scarecrow 77, I just added EVA foam clay to my shopping list.
Yeah. I'm out too. Alexa, add EVA foam play to my shopping list. And just in case someone tried to be sneaky. Computer, add EVA foam play to my shopping list.
Stop.
That's an option that people can call it.
Rookie, thank you for saying that about people complaining about appropriation of culture. Yes, there are negative ways it happens, but I've always loved that people embrace my culture and it helps to accept it.
Yes. Yeah.
Pat says, I feel that way when I see folks doing realistic fake world stuff. It puts me right back at my grandfather's knee with his tails.
Yeah.
Big Dog says, once you go to Krampus, she'll never go back. Warmonger says, Alan wants to make every holiday scary.
I do.
Jason Nichols says, yeah, following Daddy Krampus around. Third Degree of Terror says, time to bring back the Victorian tradition of telling ghost stories at Christmas.
I agree.
Psycho Axeman, I am being rich for Christmas.
Hooray.
Abadaza says, I agree about Christmas. I think the same. It makes Christmas holiday time so much more interesting. It actually makes me enjoy the other stuff a little more because I feel more creative.
Yeah.
Stricken Bull says the computer added foam clay. Christopher Lazzote, you have to wonder if Dr. Seuss was inspired by Krampus when he came up with the character of the Grinch.
I don't know.
Ezekiel Bradshaw, I hate how Christmas has become sexy. You know, short skirts, busty costumes, etc. Gene Sanford says, yes, scary Christmas stories. You have 164 people watching. In spankings. Well, Gene. Jeff Bull, have you ever thought about using portable microphones? It's really not hard to hear both of you most of the time.
That's because we have fans and stuff going in the shop. I have thought about it, all right? And I've thought about it more and more as we go. My wife speaks a little more quieter than I do. And sometimes when I'm far away from the camera, I'm hard to hear too. She's also further away than I am.
We have 3 air
And we have 3 air purifiers going in the shop right now too that are making noise. So that's a thing. I've thought about it. And maybe I'll cave and I will do lav mics at some point. So we'll see. I'm on this weird cusp where right now my job is to make monsters for haunted houses. I video myself doing that job. It is possible that down the road, my job is going to be to make videos, and I sell the stuff that I make to haunted houses. If I make that change, then I'll have to go with the lav mic setup, and I'll have to go with, I'll have to get more professional on my video work end. Right now, I'm pretty homegrown, as like everything I do right now. It's on my phone. That's my phone right there. So, yeah.
Good idea, though.
It is a good idea. One day I'll probably have to bite the bullet and do it.
Ezekiel says next time he's in town, he'll sort out that mic thing.
Anything.
We need help, Ezekiel.
I actually have a nice mic now. I have to take the time to set it up.
Yes, you do. Dead in yard haunt. My German grandmother that helped raise my brothers and I would tell us Krampus was going to get us if we didn't behave.
I like her already.
I love her. Al and I use similar clay, and I have missed it a lot. Are you going to use your foam horn technique for this mask?
Yes. We're going to switch to making foam horns here shortly.
Scarecrow77 says, yes, we need more monsters. We need new monsters.
I like the old monsters too, I don't mind the old ones.
Hey, 1980 says, I wonder if you just put a mic on the tables would be enough. It would help. It would probably help.
It's possible, yeah.
Brooke E., I'm so glad to have learned so much about Krampus this year. I'm always sad when Halloween is over and my friends want to jump straight to Christmas. Next year, I'll try to learn even more and celebrate.
Yeah, get ready. Christmas is dark, man. There's a lot of dark stuff Christmas time.
Gene Sanford says, your brand seems better than mine. Mine was £4 as a gift. Brand seems better than mine. Misty does a recipe. I put sugar skulls up in honor of Day of the Dead. People ask why, since I'm not Hispanic. I tell them there's nothing wrong with celebrating other cultures.
Yeah, and it's cool.
Lisa Aaron says it's looking really good. Gene Sanford says monsters in general are why most of us love stuff.
Love me some monsters. Boy, that's so different. Like I like that. I'm happy. I'm getting happy.
Dead End says this mask is really looking good already. Al Matra says really impressed with how this is turning out. Looks great.
Hey, thanks.
It's going to have hair.
Yes, I'll have hair.
Warmonger, I want Alan and Shannon to use the mics like the ones on the old Price is Right show. I'll do it. Good night, Michelle. And the air. I don't like Christmas because people want to be fake and they act like they're glad to see you and be around and they avoid you the rest of the year. Cat Swift says, Krampus and Halloween do not need to end. We have a wall of bookcases and 2 whole shelves of Krampus under the Bruce Campbell chainsaws.
Yeah.
John Hall, how long does it take for the clay to set?
In my experience, you get about 2 hours of work time with it. So it takes a while to set. This one has no information on that whatsoever on the lid. What, maybe on the lid?
Cat Swift says it's next to Jason, Freddy, and Myers shelves.
It says allow 48 hours to harden, which
Gene
is fun.
Sanford, I always watch and love these sculpts. Realms, on your scarecrow costume, how did you make the gloves? Because they look great on some of the other costumes.
Which scarecrow costume? Realms, you'll have to tag me in whatever you're talking about, because I make a lot of costumes.
Ezekiel says, I've been using the exact clay to patch my EVA hats and helmets. It is super cool. Christopher Lazoe, this is a great method of making monster masks for those that say they have latex allergies.
Yeah.
Louis McLeod, what color can I paint a vampire mask to make it look like an elf? It looks like an angry elf that has pointy ears but no fangs. Looks more like an elf than a vampire.
So I would base it in white and then do a blue rub out. Just a couple days ago, I did a Jack Frost live video on this channel, and you should be able to find that, and you can paint your vampire mask that exact same way.
Blackcraft says, I love the nose. It's a great shape for that mask.
Well, I'm modifying it right now because I didn't like how much meat was up here, and now I fixed that a little bit. Yeah, it doesn't start being unfun to work with for, you know, you have a couple hours with it.
Says that was a joke clothing. Rome says the Stilt Scarecrow costumes. They would look good on my upcoming costumes I'm going to make.
Oh, so those gloves, look at them and figure out how they're made. They're not one that I give away right now because that's a product that I design, develop, and I'm selling. So that's not something that I give away because right now it's proprietary to me. But if you look at it, you can see how I made it and figure it out. And then as soon as other people start selling them, I don't have to sell them anymore, and I certainly don't have to keep it proprietary. But right now, I make money off of that design, so I won't give that away. But if you look at it, you'll see how I did it. Another thing I like is that that's still pretty light.
Rome says, okay, I understand. Sorry.
No need to apologize. Truly.
What's the plan for the tongue on this mask?
So the tongue is going to be EVA foam, and it's going to be a piece of this right here. Let me draw it out. Get this guy out of the way. We're going to move on to horns here shortly.
Ezekiel says, do you need a reminder to put the lid on the Wildwood?
Maybe.
Lisa says, your gloves are the very best and very affordable.
We try. See, this is the C4, a different creative cosplay compound. Same type of stuff. So let's draw a tongue here.
Ezekiel, you missed it. Shannon bought him a large mug of mulled wine tonight, so he may need our help. Are you done?
I'm mostly done.
Do you think that you will do more mask lengths in the future that would be more feminine? I know the
Yes.
features are sometimes more difficult to sculpt.
Yes, it's very hard for me to sculpt it, but yes, that's something I want to be doing.
All done? That was a lot of wine.
Just about.
Delicious. Thank you, Baba Daza. Baba Daza just joined our Patreon.
Oh my gosh, so kind. Thank you. Yeah, so we have a Patreon.
Alexa, stop. Krampus fact.
Oh, it's time for a Krampus fact. All right. I mentioned briefly before that it was common practice for people to send Krampus cards. Before it was popular to send Christmas cards, Krampus cards actually came first. And a lot of the art from the Krampus cards that, you know, towards the end of their big era was a little risque, where Krampus was kind of in a suit and at the door of a hot lady. And also, they always said Gruß von Krampus, which is greetings from Krampus. And I think they were just a fun, naughty thing that adults would send to each other. And that Krampus, a lot, he was pictured with one human foot and one goat foot. So the Krampus cards, Gruß von Krampus, that was a thing, and you can find lots of really neat art from them. One of them was, I remember very distinctly, as Krampus, and he has all these kids lined up that he's taking with him, and they're all screaming. Really, really neat, this character. So, yeah, cool stuff. So Krampus cards were exchanged before Christmas cards.
How much would that mask cost to buy?
So you haven't seen it when it's done. Like, it's going to be ridiculous when it's done. So there's going to be big horns. I'm about to do those. And it's going to be a big mask. So one like this could be as low as $250, could be as high as $450, depending upon what happens to it.
The customer wanted big.
Yes. Yeah, so these horns are going to be ridiculous.
Psycho Axman says it's a double goat that brings happy niece.
Yeah.
Gila Nisa. Rome says, on my dog, how would you make sure he his mouth moved, and how would you make it so his head is going to have a lot of crazy movement?
Well, it's all, you're going to have to get a metal frame. I would not do it with wood if you want crazy movement. And then you're going to have to learn a little bit about pistons and pneumatics. I would definitely do pneumatic movement.
How was the Krampus risque? Because they were scary?
Well, they just had a lot of pictures of half-naked ladies on the cards. That's how, the Krampus wasn't like a sexy Krampus, but they put him on a card with sexy ladies.
How does this type of clay crack when dry?
It turns into like an EVA foam, so it doesn't crack near the same way like an air dry clay that is ceramic does.
Right, Damon, we set a timer. Thank you, though. Appreciate you checking on it. Brooke E, would you ever do an EVA foam blank? So like everything minus the hair and avoid the painting, but so how much would that cost?
We're already working on that. We have several different styles already that we're working on, and we have 4 Tiki Masks ready to go in blank form because EVA Tiki, I think, is something that I really want to do. I haven't told anybody that yet, but we're pushing on that. So EVA foam blanks are actually coming.
How much would they cost?
I'm trying to get them down to the $30 range so that it's like a kit, and then you put it together.
Good night, Warren.
Good night, Warren.
Warren, loved your shrine and your song today. How do you cover the foam with resin or just paint?
Paint. Most of the time paint, but I have done both. And right now I'm using a Dremel to round the edges. See, that'll make that EVA foam just more round, more soft. We're getting a little bit quiet here right now because I am dremeling. And the bit that I'm using is just that rounded stone. It's not a lot of grit on it at all, but it's getting me nice and round. And it's just making the foam, like this has not been done. See how hard those edges are? And this side has been done. Softer. More tongue-esque. It's just something to make him a little more alien and a little more terrifying. I don't think the tongue has any more of a meaning.
Where do you purchase your black hot glue?
Gluesticks.com. GLU-STIX.com.
I love the tongue. It adds so much. I need to make this.
You know, the tongue is a feature that I often omit on my Krampus mask. I find it does kind of get in the way. And it's a little hard to manufacture a tongue, you know.
Say goodnight to Bridget Willis.
What's that?
Say goodnight to Bridget Willis.
Good night, Bridget Willis.
She has to go. Her craft room is full.
Yeah, go make stuff. That's allowed. Okay. Now I'm picking the side I like the best. I like this side the best. I'm going to try and put in that center line on the tongue.
Where did you get your cool wolf medallion?
I got this. I actually posted it on Stillpiece Live Creepers. His name is Alan, and you know what? As fast as I did that, I forgot his last name again. Honey, you can pull up the Creepers page and find out real quick. His name is Alan, and I posted his Facebook page on the Stillpiece Live Creepers, which is our Facebook group. So here's the tongue, and I'm going to attach it to the inside of the mouth. And right now I'm going to put the center line of it in there. Alan Carnes, that's right. I will as soon as I'm done using it.
1980 says, from what I first read about the sexy Krampus, Krampus started appearing in Austria and I guess they are mature in nature.
Yes.
Meet the Chiba says, I fell to a YouTube hole on your channel. Do you still have the Piggin mold?
I don't have Piggin. I have War Piggin now, which is on my site. War Piggin is the upgraded Piggin version. Sculpted by my friend Al Driver. When you heat EVA foam, it'll bend and take a shape. And that is what I'm trying to do here. So this bit gets glued inside of the mouth, and then this bit will be outside of the mouth. And yep, I just hold it.
Thank you, Scott Colhart.
Thanks, Scott.
Says the tongue is like a devil.
Like a what?
Like a devil.
Yeah. It is a colder night tonight, so it's hard to get the EVA foam warm enough.
Sanford said it was in the low 20s here last week.
Hello, wife. Wife just gave me a goofy smile. I will keep her. Yeah, there's a lot of cool Krampus art out there now, too. Yes. I bet we have, what, 6, 7 Krampus ornaments? 10? We have a lot of Krampus
There's
ornaments.
a lot of Krampus.
I like me a lot of
We have like
Krampus.
6 Bigfoot ornaments.
We have 6 different Bigfoot ornaments, yes.
We got Yetis and a lot of faunas.
Yeti, La Befana. You got to know when to bumble.
Alan, will you be painting this map tomorrow night live?
Probably not yet. Wife,
No.
tell a quick story. 30 seconds.
Oh my goodness.
Tell about something fun.
Something fun. Okay. Okay. He never tells me when this is going to happen. So my little silver-haired mother and father are in their 80s. They're very cool. If you ever get a chance to meet my parents, they're the coolest. And it took them a while to try and understand what Krampus is. And so Alan was dressed up for a festival, and Mom did not understand how this worked. And so I started to show her some videos of the Austrian parades, and she was mildly horrified, and my dad thought it was awesome. My mother thought it was terrifying. Dad wanted to go immediately. So whenever they come here for Christmas, they're always inspecting our tree, which is full of Krampus and lots of very dark things on our tree. But my little 83-year-old mother has learned to embrace it. Now she actually thinks it's kind of cool. My dad thinks it's really cool. He loves that. And then he wants to come in here and see what Alan is making. So at Christmas, sometime when we are live, when they are here, they'll come here and stay with us for the week of Christmas. And I might try and catch them, bring them out, and let them be live for a few seconds. They'll hate that. but let you guys see them because they're very cool. But Dad wants to see all the stuff that he's making. Mom wants to see it, but she didn't want to touch it. Mom's like Peggy Hill with a cocktail. She's awesome. So, all right, you ready?
Yes.
Go. Are you not going out again?
Turn on that heater over there,
I'm
honey.
gonna turn the heater and just
And I'll go ahead and I'm going to close the door because my wife is getting chilly.
close the door. I'm just put the heater on. Go for it. You can do it.
Making sure the fire is well and truly out. It is.
But you can open it back up when you're ready to do another story.
That's okay. We can have it out tonight. Well, my door's stuck. Hang on. There we go. How was the live event? Well, I watched him close the door for 5 minutes. What do you do? Okay. So we're going to look over here. Grab some EVA foam. We're going to make some horns. Horns.
Lost you. What happened to you? What happened to you?
I was shopping in the other room.
You know that you didn't change the calendar. You know what our monster is for this month?
Is it Gilman?
Oh man.
There's a monster calendar in the bathroom. Okay.
Okay. Back in business. You're afraid some water fell off the wall.
I fixed it.
Warmonger says Shannon's parents need to stop something.
I'm not sure if they have the attention span.
Abadaza says, want to see these ornaments, Krampus and Yeti. You know what? I'll probably post some pictures on the Creepers group and show some of the ornaments we have. Scarecrow 97. That one long thread on your sleeve is slowly destroying me.
That right there? Well,
Would it be wrong to walk around my neighborhood in a Krampus outfit on Christmas Eve?
no. But I'm a really bad person to ask.
Would you paint the time before the pretty day?
No, I'll paint everything once it's all together.
How and when can I get in a mask making class?
Well, the mask making class that we do is called Monster Camp. And We're hesitant to schedule any right now because of the state of the world, simply because we don't know if we'd be able to have it. We had some scheduled this spring and summer that we had to change. We had to push back. So we're hesitant right now to schedule a new one. It looks like we might be able to slide one in April. We'll see.
April is looking good.
Right now, April looks good.
How much time is left on your timer? I need another fact.
I don't know.
Bob Dawson says, I love it, Shannon. I wish I could even get my fan to be curious enough and not just think it's weird, so I like satanic without knowing it.
The world is full of monsters. Yeah, I don't think monsters are necessarily evil. I think that they are a measuring device to tell you how strong the heroes are.
Andy Ayer, when I do a build, if it takes a while, my girlfriend will only be curious every so often. Otherwise, she leaves me alone to be lost in my mind.
That's cool. What?
I'm worried about the orders on your deck. Things that fell on the floor.
Oh, no, all of my 3 orders are up there. One piece of paper might have fallen, but that was an old piece of paper, so I let it. There we go. Just become 20% more festive.
Benson Gates says, Happy Krampusnacht.
Happy Krampusnacht!
Laura Beauty says, every time you hear a bell, Krampus gets a new one.
Yeah! You'll be walking funny after this one.
Someone says, Kiss Under the Holly. The Crazy Mouse says, just came on the live stream, and that is the best hat ever.
Thanks! I made it on the live stream. It was our first celebratory event. I now have one goal before 10 o'clock. I want to get, you guys are, look, what are you looking at? You guys are weird. Look at this. I want to get these 2 horns glued together. And then I can give you guys a good idea of what this mask will be like.
Some of the gargoyle on the shelf, where is he from?
That is from Distortions Unlimited.
Sorry, I got kicked off with Alan make the hat.
I didn't sew it, but I bought a cheap Santa hat and I made it a cool Krampus hat.
Deja Goldman, April would be an awesome month for monster camps. It's my birthday month, and that would be an awesome birthday gift. Throw in a small hint to my husband.
Hint,
My birthday
hint.
month too, Deja Goldman.
It is my wife's birthday month.
Go Taurus. We're open to you guys.
So this Krampus, each horn takes up a whole sheet of foam. So a 4-pack of foam is needed to make this one set of Krampus horns. That's a lot.
Bernie says, dang, big horns. This thing's gonna be ridiculous.
Yeah, that's a horn. And yeah.
Big Ink says, today I found one of my new favorite horrible Christmas movies, Santa Jaws.
Santa Jaws? I can't wait. Alexa, add Santa Jaws to my shopping list.
Santa Claus Alley.
We watched Krampus versus Vikings the other day. Krampus versus Vikings. So, it's out there. I did it that way. I'm gonna do it this way.
Those foam towels look smooth on both sides. Where did you source them from?
They are not smooth on both sides. They're just not as textured.
He says, I want bubble barf so bad, but he won't fit in my room. I only found them with obnoxious texture on one side.
Yeah, well, in horns, you put the texture on the inside.
Is it bad? Is it as bad as it sounds in a good way?
Oh, it's terrible. And yet it could have been worse.
Is it on Amazon?
It is on, yeah, I think it was on Prime, yes.
Let's see, that's it. Do you make another smaller set from the other part? Right now, a 4-part pack is only $7 at Harbor Freight.
Yes, and I can make a smaller set from the excess. It's not like I'm throwing it away. But still, these are some big honking horns. My remote. Which, if I don't want it to be eaten, I ought to pick it up.
Change screen with
What?
it. Screen with it.
Yeah.
Gary Ward, try and maybe refresh your page.
What's the matter?
He said the video was frozen. It's not frozen. We're doing okay.
It's not to me, it's to you.
Try and refresh your page. Hopefully that'll fix it.
Now, some people would want registration marks on these, but haha. I am going to put them together texture side out because these guys are going to get, wait, did I do this wrong? Texture out. Texture out. I was worried there for a minute. Hey, I had wine.
You had wine. You're doing great. Custom Corpses, hello.
What's up, homie?
You're doing great for as much wine as you get, which is, considering you don't drink, that is really good. I'm proud of you. You should have wine more often.
I like mulled wine. I don't like regular wine because it tastes bad. And by bad, I mean acidic.
Wedge 9986 says, I just watched the trailer for Krampus versus the Vikings, and oh boy, it looks like a special kind of sad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alexa, how much time is left on my timer?
There are no timers set.
Oh, we didn't set. Krampus fact.
Well, how do you know?
Because Riot Demon said so, and Riot Demon is watching.
A Zoot Suit Riot. Throw back a bottle of beer.
Thank you,
A Zoot Suit
Riot
Riot.
Demon.
Run a cold through your cold black hair.
Jason Nichols says, does mold Kool-Aid count? Sure.
I would drink that.
Megs, I wanted a Krampus bell, but they run about $30 for a little ornament, so I bought a 9-inch Krampus bell from Walmart. Painted myself a Bruce von Krampus bell for about $12.
Yeah.
Thanks for the inspiration to make stuff.
I am so glad. That's
That is
awesome.
awesome, Megs.
So I'll tell you a fun story about my wife. All right. So I don't know exactly. We were somewhere, and were we home? We were somewhere, and Shannon said something along the lines of, "I want to go get some gold pine cones for this basket," because she was holiday decorating, and I'm like, "Well, do we have pine cones? Because we could just make them gold." She's like, "What? You can spray paint pine cones?" So we got pine cones and we spray painted them copper and gold, and she loved it. And then it was like sticks. Let's spray paint some sticks, silver. And so but she hadn't made that connection in her head. If there's something that I don't like, I can paint it. I can change it. And that's a big that's a big leap. That's a big step. When you know that you don't have to buy things that are finished, or if you see something, you can break down in your head, oh, that's how they did that, let's do it. And this year, I'm so proud of my wife, this year, she bought some ugly turkeys.
They're so ugly.
They were hideous. But she's like, I bought these, they're ugly, aren't they? I'm like, yeah, those are ugly. She's like, we can paint them, and then we can dry brush them copper. And I was very proud of her for that. But anyway, all right, time for this is not a Krampus fact. Yeah, not a Krampus fact. This is going to be another dark Christmas creature fact. There is a creature called the Marilude in Wales. And the monster is a zombie horse that comes out on New Year's Eve. And if your door is unlocked, it will come in and just kick the snot out of you. Like, that's what it does. It comes in and it kicks the snot out of you. It won't kill you. And so what that turned into is drunk guys in Wales, like the 2-person horse costume? Well, they'll take a horse skull on a stick and they'll cover themselves in a sheet. And then on New Year's Eve, your drunk friends will try to break into your house to kick the snot out of you. Because Wales. So yes, people go around as the Marilude, and they'll try doors. And if you leave your door unlocked on New Year's Eve, the Marilude is going to come in and just kick the snot out of you because your friends are dicks. That's why. But I thought that New Year's Eve holiday monster was very special. Okay. My doggos feel quite neglected. Give me a moment. Come here. Cheney here, he will bark if he doesn't get enough attention. Or butt scritches. He definitely needs a lot of butt scritches. Is that good? Is that good?
So good. Oh, it's so good.
This
While
is
you're doing that,
Boris and Cheney.
Gene Sanford says that dig's going to be huge.
Oh, ridiculous huge.
The customer wanted outrageous.
They want it big. I don't know if they know what they've unleashed.
Vanishing Gates, you are now a generational tradition. A 13-year-old now wants to make a Krampus hat.
Yeah, do it. Make a Krampus hat.
Father Daza says, oh my God, I've been collecting pine cones every day. Spray painting them metallics is a great idea for giant acorns too. I agree. I think it's beautiful.
And then, honestly, collect pine cones, spray paint them silver, sell silver pine cones. Like, that's a little bit of holiday money right there, kids.
Maybe you spelled my name right. Custom forces. I have a real electricity on my property from October to the first week of November. Funny how they disappeared right before Thanksgiving.
Wow, I bet a neighbor of yours scooped them up.
Sometimes they put scary eyeballs in the horse skulls.
Yes. Yes. They do a lot. They put ribbons on it and stuff, but
So the rest of the costume is basically like it.
yeah, it's a bunch of drunk dudes running around with a horse skull and a sheep, kicking the snot out of their friends because they're jerks. That's what it is.
Catsuit says, how did I not know about that? I must text my buddy over there and get more info. Bubba Daz, I'm so intrigued. I learned so much from you guys.
Lock your door on New Year's Eve.
Kitty Poo Pastor, does Krampus give you a chunk of coal with your name on it?
No, Krampus throws you in a bag and takes you to a cave and eats you. Krampus is a little more intense. Now, Krampus was gentrified sort of right around World War II time in order to be more palatable. And then maybe he did give a switching or give out coal, but the original Krampus dragged bad kids to hell or to their cave and ate them. In Italy, that Krampus, he throws the children into a lake of fire.
Make a lemonade stand to sell the silver and gold Frankfurts.
What? Just say holiday decorations.
Bidding media can't find Krampus versus the Vikings.
That's your life is ruined,
Where was it?
or better. It was on. Someone saw it. It's on Amazon. Wait, it might be on Tubi, Tubi, which is free. Tubi, that's a free movie site. It might have been on Tubi.
Bobby Bo says that tradition wouldn't work in Texas either. Robin Hood says it won't be long. Mole Santa Gray is filling up fast here. Spanker 4612 had a few bad months. In fact, this is my first smile in weeks.
I'm glad to hear that.
Cat Swift. During the lockdowns, my Welsh friends have been doing weekly live scary tales. Must tell me about this one. My knowledge is more Irish and Scottish.
That's awesome. I love
It
that.
is cool. Gene Sanford, Alan, I'm actually surprised this tradition isn't going on here in the southern states.
Well, there are a lot of drunk people, and we have horse skulls, so all we're missing is a little bit of tradition.
Brooke E. I think I found it under the pagan warrior, but that might be something else. It has to do with Krampus and Vikings, though I assumed that was right. And thanks for the Krampus info. Very cool. Have a good night. Sometime curious.
Have a great night. Thank you.
Alexa, set alarm for 13 minutes.
13 minutes.
13 minutes, starting now.
Custom corpses. I had someone ask me about stilts. Definitely not my thing. I'm going to send him to you, Al. I'm not really sure what you wanted. I'll leave it back to you.
Sounds good. Just modeling my Krampus hat. My official hat of.
Very festive.
This is my official hat of all the holiday gatherings we're not going to go to this year. And I had this set of horns in my drawer, and I thought they're just too small for a Krampus mask. They're okay for like a gargoyle or something, but they were too small for a Krampus, so they work great for this.
Ezekiel says, my friends don't wear a horse costume, but they still get drunk. Try to keep the snot out of me on New Year's. I'm still sticking.
Hooray!
Oh my God.
Australia's different.
Dude, Australia's tough. You gotta respect Australia.
Texas is to America what Australia is to the rest of the world. How that works.
Not paying attention. What is this? Come here. Rookie, this might be a dumb question, but is contact cement and rubber cement the same? Would it work the same for horns? That's all that I have.
It'd be very close. Rubber cement is similar. Contact cement is what I use. Rubber cement is similar, but it's a little different. It'll work fine.
And that is not a dumb question.
No, it's not a dumb question at all. Hi, everybody. Yeah, as soon as I get these two horns glued together, I want these two horns to be glued together, then I'm going to show them the horns, like, I'll hold them onto the mask so they can see it, and you just see how big this guy's going to be.
Zoodog says, I've seen some vintage postcards of women Krampus carrying men who party too much over the holidays. Wonder how widespread that group is.
Again, that is part of the 60s push of cards that had a little bit of a risque feel.
Casper says we do culminating on New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
It's on from traditional celebrating the wildest thing party all night.
I have been a beater of the bounds for a. I was the first footer. That's right. I was the first footer at a Hog Manny party because I was a dark person.
You actually had a black eye.
At that time, I had a black
You had a
eye.
black eye that night from so when you knew the boys played football, you didn't play football.
Yeah, we did a Boxing Day game of football.
Boxing Day game, and you ended up with a black eye, and so you showed up and you had a big coat on, and you did the whole thing. You gave the whiskey and the coal,
Yes.
and you beat the house with sticks. Warmonger, you missed Jonesy. He was here earlier. He has since he was here carousing, and so was Jenkins, and they have now gone out to do cat things. Big Ink found it on Tubi. The movie.
Great. Yeah, and Tubi is wonderful. Now, there's commercials, but it's free, and they have some of the awesomest, weirdest movies.
It's not okay. Last time I drank at a New Year's Eve party, I wound up streaking through the park.
Hooray! And they say you don't know how to have a good time.
Ralph says, I cut the mouth and eye for the teddy bear mask. And it was so weird to do.
Yeah, don't you feel a little bit bad? It's like, oh, I don't know if I should be doing this. But you should.
Custom corpses. When I started the original Myers 78 sculpt, not going to be happy with it. Tell to make it close to as perfect as possible. But I'll say this, I really can't wait until I'm making original stuff.
Yeah?
The big dog says, Masato, was that you? Good night, Harvey.
Wait, did you just say that Big Dog was on?
Yeah.
Oh, it's Saturday. He can be up later. Normally he's got to bail early because he's got early work. These are ridiculously big horns.
Masato K says, just make sure there's no drink at the monster camp I go to. Masato K, I will not serve you alcohol. How about that?
Right. She don't make you drink nothing, but she offers.
I will not serve you alcohol. No protections that I can. Oh, thank you, Michael Lassiter. Just signed up for Patreon.
Oh, that's so kind. Thank you very much. Yeah, we launched a Patreon this week. When did we launch Patreon? Wednesday? 3 days ago. So I've done 3 different thoughts of the day. And I don't think my third thought went up yet because of how my life is.
Did you 45 degree those edges?
I did not. If I 45, they'd be beveled, and I want them to be kind of straight across.
Ezekiel says, Masato Monster Camp nudie run chased by the Aussie. Oh my god.
I'm going to leave this open for now, and I will come back and close that up in a minute. I am going to bevel just that last little bit because there's just some meat in the way. These are kind of too big for my foam oven, so I didn't use it. But I'm happy with that. That's a nice horn.
Let's see. Rome says, the lady at the store asked me what I was going to do with the teddy bear. And I said, you really don't want to know? And she said, yes. And I told her, and she said, that is so stuff.
Yeah, I actually lie because I used to go and I would buy like 10 or 15 teddy bears at a time to make masks. And they'd say, oh, what are you going to do with these? And
You must be such a proud
I just
daddy.
say, I give them to kids. which sometimes came out creepier than I intended. But carve them up and let people put their heads up their butts. And if you don't know what we're talking about, this just took a weird turn. But remember I said I was going to put it together inside out? It's so against my nature that I put it together right side out. A couple of nights ago on a live feed, I made a mask out of a teddy bear. And the live feeds will be moving, but I will announce before they move so that folks are aware. This is a Mondo set of horns here.
The Crazy House says, I have a friend who's a puppeteer. She has to lie at the hardware store where she's going to get puppet parts that leads to long, bewildering conversations. Gatsby says, yes, my kids no longer ask. They just shake their heads and say they're glad I keep busy. Alan, have you ever made scary dolls or doll masks?
Yes, I have. Yes, I have.
Ezekiel says, the lady at the cheap shop stopped asking me what I'm making now. She was Crappy UK, I like the way you put the horn together to make it look easy. So cool, I love the hat.
Thank you.
Baladaza is seriously cracking up. I have lied several times when asked by cashiers how many kids I have or what grade I teach.
That's right. Just lie. It's easier.
Sandra says, I pay attention to the live feed. This is my night off. Stevie says, the Krampus in this movie looks good.
He's not bad. He could have been way worse. The doggo, he's looking for something to mess with, and he just hit that head form and it moved and it scared him. He was doing him a spook.
Sandra says, look at that, no grandma with scissors.
I'm just cutting a 45. So I'm cutting the edge off.
I'd love it if you could do a YouTube Wednesday making scary dolls. Can you make that happen?
Yes.
Ezekiel says, one time a young male cashier asked me what the mask was when I told him to rob a bank. He told me there is help and went into a rant about the good Lord. Wife backhanded me in the car. Carl O'Brien says, at Michael's and they ask, what are you making? I just say, I signed a non-disclosure.
There you go. That works too.
Dean Sampson says, I need a pencil, tape, Dremel, level, etc. Benjamin Coleman, did y'all say you were switching platforms from YouTube?
No, we're not switching platforms for YouTube. I'm adding a YouTube channel just for the live videos. It's a different audience. I have two audiences. I have one audience that enjoys the weekly videos, the YouTube Wednesday videos, and then I have another audience that is the live. Now, I think the live audience enjoys the YouTube Wednesday videos also, but I picked up a lot of people in October who much prefer the weekly videos. So, in order to keep that audience, because I'm losing them, in order to keep that audience, I want to split the channel. And love, I'm going to have you tell another story here in a second because I just want to go out and check that fire real quick.
Some people like both.
Some people do like both, but not all of them. Tell them about last year's tree lighting ceremony.
Oh. I think you should end the speaking by fire.
Oh, so I should start another one, what you're saying?
Well, are you getting close to it back now?
Yeah, I'm actually I'm putting glue on these horns, and then
I think that would be final fact and closing.
Okay.
You gotta make it 12. Bring the rubbing alcohol too. Warmonger wants a Jonesy story. Okay, while he's doing that, Warmonger, this is for you. I'm gonna do a quick Jonesy story for you because that's your favorite kitty. And he's almost done with those, and then we're gonna wrap up, and he's gonna do like a firelight story. You guys like fire. So, the night that I brought Jonesy home, I've told you this story before, that our friend Mike, who rescued Jonesy out of a drainage ditch, Alexa, stop. Out of a drainage ditch, brought him to dark hour, so that he was on his way to dark hour anyway. He didn't want to be late, so we just brought the kitten to dark hour. And as we've said before, nothing will put the kibosh on progress of starting a show like a kitten. And I was not scheduled to work that night, and so I was home. In fact, it was I had just gotten home from work, and Alan called me. He said, "Please come get this kitten." And I can't get anybody to get into costume or makeup or anything. Nobody will be ready. And I'm trying to get the show going, and I can't get anybody to do anything because there's a kitten here. And Jonesy was about 5 weeks old, super skinny, very sick, way small, too small to be away from mama. And of course I was like, you want me to come get a kitten? Well, yeah. So of course I go get the kitten, knowing full well that I'm going to keep the kitten, because by the time I've driven home with the kitten in my arms, I've named him and told him I love him, and it's why I can't foster. So Alan, of course, when he got home, it was about 3:30 in the morning, and he finds me on the couch with the kitten, and I'm like, "Look at him, he's so great," and he's like, "Whatever." Which, guys, I know you guys don't believe it, that he doesn't care about this kitten. He's worse than I am. And so I put Jones down, and I went to do something. And when I came back in the room, Jones had climbed up. Alan had fallen asleep. He was exhausted. He had fallen asleep on the couch, just sitting up on the couch and just leaned back. And Jones was curled up on his shoulder under his beard, snuggled down asleep. And of course, I got a picture. I got a picture. And it was the dearest thing. And of course, he's snuggling this kitten, but he's sound asleep and has no idea I'm taking pictures. So I used this the next day when he was kind of looking at me like, we got to find this kitten a home. I'm like, the kitten's got a home. And showed pictures of him in his sleep holding the kitten, and the kitten in his sleep snuggling up to him, and then worked great. So Jonesy is a powerful little guy. He was so sick, and we had to take him to the emergency vet the next day because he just got sicker, and I couldn't fix him. So we went to the emergency vet, and they gave us everything we needed, and he started bouncing back pretty fast. But any time that he fusses about the animals, let's remember that the reason we have 3 dogs is because Alan brought 3 puppies home. Isn't that right, buddy? It's because Alan brought home 3 puppies. So while I am a foster fail and I'm bad at this, we're done.
All right, now.
We just had a little heart to heart.
Heard myself thrown under the bus.
Yeah, he looked very good. He made it. Yes, I can, Bob Stryker. I will post a picture. I will post the picture, I promise. No such thing as a foster fail, that's a happy adoption. I agree. We tried to foster, and he's still here, and that was Tuxedo, and that was 12 years ago. Oh.
Hey, hi. Hello, Bella. Bella. Oh. What happened? What happened that made them
Oh, no.
crazy?
Baba Daza says, I can tell he is a huge softy for animals. There's a video where he's making feral bodies, and there's a shot where he is standing next to the monster, and the dog's waiting. Poor monster says Alan was a foster and Shannon baby. Bella wants love, and she does. By his feet, they roll on their backs for the belly rub. Yes, Baba Daza, that was. We just kind of leave the dogs in the video. Are they still murder cats? Yes.
Oh, very much so. All of them.
These are cats, but they are. Where's my Cheney? Rodney Pope, your Cheney is right here.
Cheney. What's up, buddy? What's up, bud?
Yes.
That's, you just put your foot in contact cement.
Oh, Lord.
You don't care? Okay. Well. Oh, that's the tripod. Oh my gosh.
Rodney says he's awesome.
Okay. Get this guy
So
on
he
the
says Cheney is mine. He just doesn't.
I will have to do another round of heating on this.
Baba Daza said, I love Cheney. Is it Cheney or Cheney? I need to know everyone's name. Cheney is Cheney.
C-H-E-N-E-Y.
C-H-A-N-E-Y.
C-H.
Launching.
Yeah.
Cheney by Lon Chaney, not Dick Cheney.
Yes, Lon Chaney. Yeah.
Are you familiar with the tradition of mummering practices in England and Ireland and Newfoundland? And
I'm semi-familiar. For some reason, I am required to pet this dog right now. Okay, is that good? Can we go on? Go on. Okay. Not like this is timed or anything. Don't worry, this phone will stay warm forever. Not. It's more important to heat the outside than the inside. Because you think about it, the outside has to stretch more because it's going all the way around the outside. And the outside is further than the inside.
Rodney says, I'd have loaded a truck after Monster Camp 7, but I don't think I would have gotten very far. J. John says, that was creepy and slightly evil beast made from wood or even animal skull that had an articulated jaw and a rare operator hid under a sheet.
That's the Mary Lou. That's what they're talking about. Yeah, you articulate the jaw. It's the closest thing that is an English version of a Chinese dragon, like a New Year's dragon, like a big dragon costume. It's kind of like that. but it's a bunch of drunk Welsh dudes want to kick the snot out of you. And the heat just makes this a lot more pliable. It's more likely to go together. Okay, I have 2 horns now. Let's I think my battery is low.
Let's see. Shay John says the hobby horse often had teeth made of nails and were nipping partygoers. Not a general mayhem. We grabbed holes from fighters to footstones and cleaning them back. Robert Dawson says those horns are epic.
These are fairly epic horns.
Rodney Club says those are my favorite horns to do for Krampus.
Really? I like that big curve. I just think that's very imposing. And I'm going to put candles on these.
Campus on the horns?
Yeah.
We're going to take pictures of it. Was the very mood that what the creatures from Time Bandits were based on? I think that's very similar.
It's
I
possible.
agree. That's a great analogy too, because those were good creatures.
Okay, so this is what the Krampus will look like with horns this big on them. Look at that. White spinner in there, take a peek. Tell me what you think.
We're going to ship this. That is going to be a beast.
Yeah, that's nice. So let's do our last Krampus fact. Out by a fire, my wife says. So we'll do that, but this is what he's going to look like. I have ears yet to make for him, but I'm pretty happy with how he's turning out. And he still has paint to go, he still has a hard coat, and hair, lots of processes left on him. But I thought I would show you a new way to make masks. I didn't mold a thing yet. Wife? You're going to come out with me by the fire?
Yep.
Okay, let me put the lid
You need
on.
to take the...
I got to put the lid on the contact cement or else Ezekiel will yell at me. Okay. We're going to do our last Krampus fact, and we're going to close it up. And I'm just going to do this.
Goodness, it's chilly. Southern girl. Whoa, wow. We're going to build a fire tonight.
You have to take this because we're so dead.
You so low? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, guys. It's Krampusnacht.
This was fun.
This
right?
was fun. I loved this. You know, we had a theme. We had a cocktail.
You're going to be right over here.
Here it comes.
You don't have to leave the porch, I don't think. Right there.
I'm good.
Watch your internet. So.
Guys, it is so dark out here. I'm serious. You can't see anything. Come here, guys. All right. Oh, that feels nice.
I thought you'd like that.
I do. I do.
Okay,
Hey,
is the porch light on or off?
Oh, off.
Okay.
Turn it off. We gotta have atmosphere.
Your face is that
Your face is atmosphere.
darker than mofo.
Okay, go.
2, 1.
Oh, it's so nice.
Okay.
Okay.
So this is not necessarily a Krampus fact. This is a note. This is a, buddy, that's pretty warm for you. This is a whole thought. The world needs Krampus. I think that the world needs Krampus right now, and I think the world has always kind of needed Krampus. These are scary times, and one of the things that I've always said haunted houses do is we let people put a face on fear. People don't come to a haunted house to get scared. They come to the haunted house because they're already scared. But they're scared of reasons that they can't scream for. They're scared of reasons that they can't really be afraid for. Like, it's inappropriate to break down crying because you can't make a car payment. It's inappropriate to get out of the car and scream because if you're stuck in traffic one more day, you're going to hate it. And haunted houses allow you to scream and get those negative emotions out. They put a face on every fear. They put a face on, I can't afford my child's college. They put a face on, you know, I can't do these social things, you know. They put a face on, I'm going to die alone. And haunted houses are great at putting a face on that. This is a year of fears. This is a year where there is fear in the air. They're scared. The world's a scarier place right now. And we need something to be able to put a face on it and say, it wasn't just all of 2020 and all of the pressure and all of the social change that's happening right now that made me scream. It was Krampus. We need one more thing to put a face on the fears that we already have, that we already carry. I got to go back a little bit. Darkness is not the absence of light. Darkness is the justifier of light. Because you cannot have light without darkness, and you can't have darkness without light. The dark side of what we do, it just makes life brighter. It just makes it stronger. Just because you have a love of darkness doesn't mean that you have a dark soul. You might have the brightest soul. But the world needs Krampus right now. And I just beg everybody to embrace it and tell folks about it. So I'm going to grab the camera back so I can sign off. But as always, I say, go make stuff. Say goodnight, wife.
Good night, guys. Happy Krampusnacht. Thank you for joining us.
Happy Krampusnacht.
Special.
Good night.
Good night.